and prosperity.
Judge Kavanaugh, are you ready to begin?
Oh, hell yeah. Let me tell you this. I'm gonna start at an 11. I'm gonna take it to about a 15 real quick.
I liked beer, still like beer. We drank beer. The drinking age, as I noted, was 18. And we drank beer. And I said sometimes probably had too many beers.
Now, I am usually an optimist. I'm a keg is half full kind of guy.
What do you consider to be too many beers?
I don't know. Whatever the chart says.
Well, guess what? I'm not backing down, you sons of bitches. I don't know the meaning of the word stop.
We drank beer, so did I think the vast majority of people our age at the time, but in any event, we drank beer and still do.
I was lifting weights with PJ and Squeeze. And Handsy Hank. Gangbang Greg. Which, the liberal media is going to find some way to spin.
Have you ever passed out from drinking?
Passed out would be no, but I've gone to sleep, but I've never blacked out. That's the allegation. That's wrong.
I like beer. I like beer.
Okay, so I asked if you drank in high school, and you said, I like beer 10 times. That leads me to the next question. Did you ever drink too many beers?
You mean, was I cool? Yeah.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Oh, boy. She's coming in hot, that Petey. It's the Word with Mike and Pete, GubsRadio.com. We are streaming live from the biggest and the baddest comedy club in the country. I don't know. I listened to B-Mel's Sid Rosenberg interview on iTunes.
I don't know who that is.
New York Sports Mafia.
I don't know who any of those people are.
New York Sports Mafia.
Who's Sid Rosenberg?
Sid Rosenberg's on The Fan. It's like midday or... Yeah, whatever.
I don't listen to AM radio or
he does.
No sports.
He's a big sports radio guy, so he called into the New York Sports Mafia.
Oh, good for them.
Yeah, it was cool. That was a good get because it was a really good interview. It was like a 45-minute podcast of just him on the phone. Speaking of the phone, this is the Word with Mike and Pete. We're here in our brand new season number 2 of the Wort. We'll get into a lot of stuff today. We have a bunch of phone calls lined up. And anyone that wasn't scheduled that's watching or listening on our YouTube live channel or on our Instagram live, give us a call. 516-465-3990, 516-513-0515. We take our phone calls live to the air, so don't feel like, I'm not going to interrupt our conversation, but you will be on immediately and ready to go. When I click you over, it's all you and all your questions and all your information.
You can ask me if, with this camera angle, do I look more bald?
Yeah, you want to see Pete on the gram? Here's Pete on the gram.
I'd prefer we didn't do that.
Okay, well, I just swung it over really fast. Our Facebook, our YouTube stream is up, and I just realized the Govs Radio thing is way up there in the corner. We'll have to change that later. Our lower third is missing. See it?
So it is.
All the way up in the top right, but it says Govs Radio with our phone number. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can just go on there, and I think that was the ultimate goal.
Sure.
That our first show that we ever did here at Governor's Cup. Wow, I'm going to be doing that a lot tonight. Governor's Comedy Club was just you and I. We started off, it was you and I the first night, and we just, beers and bullshit and talked a lot about what's going to happen on the show. And then we kicked it off. And so that's kind of the same process we're going to follow here for season number 2, just bigger, badder. We expect a lot of great things here in 2019. I do want to, before we take to the phones and people are going to start calling in just a minute, I do want to talk about the Hopped Up Network for a moment. The Jersey Beer guys were able to secure the media coverage for the AC Beer and Music Festival. So they want to have somewhere around 4 to 5 podcasts on the Hopped Up Network to populate Radio Row at the AC Beer and Music Festival on March 29th and 30th. It's a Friday, Saturday. There's 3 sessions. something like 150 breweries, 500 different beers. The Used is playing, and there's some other.
Oh God! Now I don't want to go.
Yeah, we won't be by the music. Hey, Podcast Row, let's set you up right next to the main stage. I don't think they'll do that. But no, it might be a good opportunity for us. We're gonna have to work out some scheduling and stuff with the guys and the boys over there and see what we got. And if we can make that happen, because that'd be awesome exposure up and down the East Coast. I know some of them that are there are some that I've wanted to go back to and or haven't gone yet to. I was reading the list and said, "Wow, look at that beer list."
Looking at it right now.
Yeah. One of the ones that really stood out to me was Carton. I love Carton.
Don't think I've ever had them.
Yeah, well, they're starting to trickle into Long Island. About a year ago, you had the 0077 or 007XX or something like that. It's a zip code, I think. And it's an IPA. Then they had a stout. Then they had a porter. And a couple things leaked up here. One of the big things I saw over the weekend was the opening here locally of the Patchogue Beer Project.
Excited. Their menu looks good, too. The beer menu.
You saw that
looks
list,
really
right?
Good. Yeah, I want to head down there.
Yeah, check them out on Instagram, Patchogue Beer Project. I'm sure they have a Facebook page and all that other good stuff. We were both busy. We had other plans this weekend that we couldn't make a run out there, so we apologize for not being at the open. I saw a lot of the bloggers and the reviewers out there, Inked Up, or what is it, Inked Beer Lover,
Yep.
Rosemary.
Yep.
There's a couple others, bloggers that were out there, Bizza.
Sure.
Yeah, there's a couple of guys from Long Island that made it a point to get out there and try some of the beers. And all great reviews I saw.
And now they're day 2. They started a menu with Patchogue Burger Place.
Nice.
Or,
so the pairing, or they're just selling.
You can
have
buy
a food
food
truck
from,
and get pulled in there. Kind of like Hoptron. I mean, Hoptron was like that.
Never been there.
Yeah, was there a couple weekends ago.
Nice.
And they had half and half. It was a other half and barrier IPA, but with a stout mix. It was crazy. It was so good. And so we went to Croxley's the next night in Farmingdale, and they had it on the menu, but they ran out. So I was kind of pissed off that they didn't have that collab. I was one of my favorites that I had at Hoptron. So anyway, Hoptron allows you to bring in food, so you can order food in, or you can order food from them.
There are a lot of goddamn breweries here.
What, in Patchogue?
No.
On Long Island?
No. On this.
Oh, yeah. It's well over 100 breweries going to be at the AC Beer Fest, Beer and Music Fest. So we appreciate the guys from, that's where I was going with that, by the way, the Hopped Up Network and the Jersey Beer guys for reaching out. It's been a great year for them, for us. Pete and I, we've had them. I was on their show. Pete was on Graz's show. We've kind of spread out a little bit. I actually called into that Northwest podcast. That guy comes and calls into us. We have a bunch of podcasts out there. And then, Bitches and Brews actually they were live the other night, and I said, "Oh, cool, let me call in." I guess their Google phone that they had running didn't work right. I don't know what it was, but it's fine. And so I, said, if you guys, if I can't call into you, why don't you call into our show tonight? So we may expect them to call in.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So anybody who wants to call in,
Bitches
516-465-3990, 516-513-0515. We're anxious to spread out in 2019 and reach a lot more places throughout the country. We've had a lot of turnout from New Jersey. I myself went out to New Jersey last weekend, and we
Where'd you hit?
Cypress Brewing. Brewing in it's not New Brunswick, but it's right there. I forget what the actual town is called. I'll have to ask them if they call in, which they should call in tonight. They're scheduled to call in somewhere around, I believe, the 9 o'clock hour, so I can give them a little more time. And they had some pretty good stuff. But the one thing I had is the one thing they had to go. It was a double, or it was a dry hopped American Pale Ale with cranberries. It was great.
I want to try that. That sounds really good.
Migwench, I think it was called, or something to that nature. And they can. There it goes. Yeah, they can go ahead and give us all that information. I'm going to do that for you, Pete, because I'm a little under the weather tonight. For those people out there on the gram and whatever, I'm not feeling 100% tonight. So I'm not going to be drinking a hell of a lot of beer. I'm going to maybe just taste a few things here as long as I don't feel sick. No.
Right.
Like, I'm probably going to drink that. I just want the taste as I go through.
Cheers.
Oh, cheers, buddy.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy season 2.
Yeah, I think we're gonna make this happen. I think this is gonna be a big year for us. We're gonna go under some changes in the studio. We're gonna hopefully reach. I don't know if you saw, but there's another cast festival with
Yeah, I'm going to be
the
away.
Brewers Collective.
The Brewers
You
Collective.
are,
I saw that was disappointing.
Now, is that over the break?
February 16th?
It's the break, right?
Saturday before President's Day week. The Saturday of President's Day weekend.
Yeah, I think I'll be away too.
A lot of good brewers going to be there. Barrage.
Oh yeah, just go down the line. You got Brick House. You got, of course, the Brewers Collective.
1940s. Spider Bites.
Spider Bite. They just produced something with
let's go down the list. Actually,
Barrage.
1940s. We'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
1940s. Barn Shed. Barrage. Blind Bat. Gotta email them.
Yeah.
Brick House. Dubco. Great South Bay. Greenport. Hopwinds.
Yeah.
Lithology, Mustache, North Fork, St. James, Spider Bite, and of course the Brewers Collective.
Of course.
Indie Cask Fest 2019. And yeah, I saw that. That's one of several collaborations I know Steve and Larry are working on. So
I'm actually really impressed. I remember that
Yeah,
name.
me
I
too.
can go
I
through
forgot.
most of them, but like he was one of the ones I'm like,
Larry Goldberg.
yes.
Yes. Yeah, they have a double out.
Yeah.
I really want to try that. There was
a picture of it online. I think
looks
it looked
really good.
It looked great.
I'm gonna go grab some this weekend.
Nice. There you go. Grab a crowler or two.
I will actually.
All right. We're going to stay on I keep saying Facebook. We're not doing Facebook Live tonight.
Fachache?
Yeah, we're going to stay on YouTube stream. So if you're over on the gram and you want to, Dubco is the shit. Who is this? Oh, someone I don't know, but they're obviously looking right at us right now on Instagram Live. So that's pretty cool. Cheers, buddy. He can't.
Oh, he can't see from behind. Both
From
cameras
behind
aren't on?
cameras, yeah, you can't do a split screen of both cameras, which is something Apple should probably invent, right? That'd be cool,
an
with that,
idiot.
Right? Back and forth, split screen, you and I.
I probably would.
It's like making a mad dog and a fan. You see us on the Yes Network. So we got a bunch. Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
We got a bunch of stuff that's going to be happening. If you're over on the Instagram page, head over to the YouTube stream. Go onto YouTube, type in the Wort podcast, and we'll pull up, and you'll see our live feed from there. I got to clear my phone so I can take phone calls from the phone and cue people into what we're doing. So just breaking down the fourth wall, we're going to have to stop going live for just a moment, all right? We'll see you in a little bit.
Link,
Instagram.
link in our bio for.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Link in our bio for the link for the YouTube, the Govs radio stream, everything. Peace. All right, well, there you go. Goodbye.
Is it weird? I feel more comfortable if that's off.
Yes. It is. That's a little weird. We had a bunch of people look in on this. Art Man was taking a peek. I talked to him actually over the break. He sent me a nice little text message about aliens taking people with big dicks and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
So that was fun. And we had a bunch of, here we go. Listening along to the Word of Podcast, going to be calling in soon. Sweet. Ontario, yes. So the Brewster lady.
That's it.
Yeah, that was the other one. I couldn't think of it before. I reached out to her. I know we haven't hit Canada yet.
Canada.
And there's so much going on, especially up in the metropolitan areas up there.
Yes.
That I'm very interested in what's going on. I don't think we'll be able to get Beer Stew Customs to do trades, though. Do you think, are people doing that?
I don't know if I want to try.
Why? It's just Canada.
I mean,
I'm
already
not like Mexico where you think there's gonna be dirty needles in
shit.
there.
No. Just like I'm just worried from a knock from the Postal Service because every time I go there, they're like, "Oh, is there any liquids or anything in here?" No. Have you done beer trades lately?
The last one we did with Blonde Brew, and we sent her down stuff when I never.
What did you say when you mailed it?
Stuff back.
When they asked if there was any liquids in there, what did you tell them was in there?
I didn't. I said no.
Oh, okay.
I just lied. I don't give a shit.
The first few times I did UPS, and I did. They asked you what is in there.
Okay.
And I just told them electronics.
Yeah. Yeah. You might as well. Yeah. Just it's parts.
That's why it's heavy.
Yes. I mean, some people put like Nerds and shakeable candies in the box. So if someone goes to shake it, they don't hear the liquid shake, but they hear the candy shake.
That's a good idea.
So they're like, oh, okay, it's plastic or it's M&Ms or something like that. I think people do that with medical marijuana stuff as well when they want to ship those across. A rain stick, yes.
I don't know where I pulled that from.
That's correct.
In elementary school.
With
music.
some ancient tribal etchings on it.
Sure, why not?
Yes, sir.
If you're going to get a rain stick, you might as well get a good
American
one.
Indians were the best. Did they ever go up to Canada? Were they up the...
well, they're all, I mean...
I don't know my history like that.
There wasn't a Canada.
Right. Well, there is, but there was an area that we considered.
Are there indigenous people from
Not
Canada?
now. I just mean back then. They were up
Yeah.
in Canada. Yeah, all over the place, right?
That's why we had the French and Indian War.
That's true. Yeah. France. Viva la France.
Yeah.
I don't care about France. They suck. Home of turtlenecks. I don't know. We are allowed turtlenecks? No?
I don't know. They smoke a lot.
Yes. Oui.
A lot of cigarettes.
Well, that's what I was saying. I watched Super Troopers 2. And the amazement part of how much they knew some of the French up in Canada.
Well, there's Canada's made up of several provinces. The closest one to us being Quebec.
I wish I didn't feel this way. I would drink the shit out of that.
It's really goddamn
good. That's really good. We'll get to that in a moment.
So Quebec is bilingual. So everywhere in Canada, all the signs are bilingual.
Yes, correct. Yep. Which made the plot of Super Troopers 2 that much more like realistic in a way.
But in Quebec, most people speak French. I used to go skiing up there and get yelled at by some guy because I didn't speak French.
Parlez-vous français?
I spoke a little.
Jacques Cousteau, Grey Poupon.
I know how to say
Alex
pineapple.
Trebek. That's what they were saying. I like their little...
in
the teaser trailer, that one was pretty good.
I took like 6 or 7 years of French, and all I can remember to say is like, "Hi, my name's Pete. How are you? I am a pineapple."
You are a pineapple.
That's
a good one,
probably about all I can muster on short notice.
This is the Word Mike Pete. Give us a call, 516-465-3990, 516-513-0515. We're just breaking down some stuff
I promise I won't speak French.
That's fine. Well, maybe we'll get the brew lady to talk about it. Brewster lady, thank you.
She's on the West Coast. Probably doesn't.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Right?
It's
She's
Ontario.
in Vancouver?
Yeah. No,
area?
Ontario. That's still mid to west, I believe.
Midwest.
Well, we'll get it from her. We'll figure it out from her.
I'm terrible at geography.
Yes. And it's one of the things, like I said, we wanted to do in 2019 is kind of reach out a little further from our local area, which is exploding, and find out what's going on. Pete and I do travel enough in our lives that we always are looking. Not enough. So I'm going down to Naples.
I heard.
Going down to Naples in a few weeks, and I'm going to be there for almost a week. And the first thing I do, obviously, is check out.
You're checking a bag, right?
I don't know.
You are now because you can.
It's the only way to send beer back.
You can send beer back in your checked luggage.
I don't know.
I
think we are. I think we're going to combine a bunch of bags between the kids and my wife and myself.
Leave empty space for beer.
Right, of course. No. We're going to pack light, and I'm going to bring a lot in my carry-on. Pack real light. And, I want to bring some stuff back. I don't know how much canned at the breweries that I was looking at have. They have growlers. They have crowlers. So maybe I'll bring back a couple crowlers, but hopefully it's not enough time. I'll wait till the end of the week to grab the crowlers and bring it back.
Yeah, it'll be fresh for a little while.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Speaking of which, I grabbed some crowlers from Smallcraft over the vacation as well.
Nice.
So we haven't done a show since December 10th.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, because the second Monday that we were going to do it in December was falling right before Christmas. It was been Christmas Eve.
I wasn't coming in here.
No one was going to ask anybody to. That'd be ridiculous. So then we went, and then we had to wait another so often this week because of New Year's break and how it landed. And, so that's why we've kind of been out of the studio for almost 20 days again.
Feels good to be back.
It does. You know, you and I are back in here, going to reach out to people throughout the country and hopefully the world at this point. You want to be worldly. I did try to contact somebody over in England because apparently in some of the metropolitan areas there's a craft beer explosion happening there. Sydney, Australia.
We're trying to get an outlaw from Germany.
An outlaw?
I can never remember the name of the German beer purity law. But
yes.
That's still a thing.
Yes, no, I agree. I know, which is just fine. You're going to look it up while we do it.
Of course I am.
So we're going to try to do that throughout this season. We have so many more breweries here on Long Island, though, Pete,
good Lord.
that we have to go through.
Can I try and pronounce this?
Go ahead. Let me hear it. Yeah, go.
Reinheitsgebot.
God bless you.
Exactly.
And stop cursing on our radio show.
It's been on the books for 302 years.
302?
1516 by Duke Wilhelm IV of Bavaria. So fuck you, Duke Wilhelm.
Yeah, for fucking it all up already. They're setting the precedent of fuckery. So we, like I said, we have a lot of breweries locally that we still have to get through. I mean, we really haven't even cracked the surface.
No,
if you think about what we've had,
like when I was reading that the Cast Fest list, there's a few people I definitely want to get it. Blind Bat,
been here forever.
Yeah, they've been around for a very long time. They predate a lot of the breweries that have functional tap rooms at this point. which is funny in and of itself.
Yes, they predate a lot of that.
To them and have them come down.
Right, absolutely.
So-
And I hear good things, and I've had some of their beer at festivals. Never been disappointed.
Very good.
They had like a darker IPA, non-traditional, non-hazy, but that was back when hazies weren't around really, so it didn't really make a difference. I do have something I want to bring up a little later about root and branch and price gouging here on Long Island. We have to really talk about that. I think so.
I thought that was a third rail topic. I didn't want to bring that whole
third
thing.
rail. What is that?
Know.
Well, we'll bring it up because one of the groups I want to get in is Root and Branch because of they're so unique as being a nomadic brewery, one that
they're
travels.
Taking up roots near you.
Yes, they are. They're going to be, I believe, in Copiague.
Maybe they'll spout a branch.
That would be unbelievable. And to have something local that I can get to. And imagine just the Long Island Railroad now, Amityville, Copiague, Lindenhurst, and Babylon, if you want to count Secretog being right outside the town, literally right outside the town. You got 4 or 5 breweries right on that stop. That's a South Shore hub now. Now you can start saying those 4 little towns make up a hub on Long Island, like a Patchogue or like a Medford or not Medford, Holbrook, like a what's the other one I'm thinking of? Out east at Riverhead. So yeah, I mean it's going to be something like that. And originally, if you recall, they wanted to make like a incubator.
Yeah,
out of the old Corvette shop.
Chuck Schumer wanted to do.
Smart idea, Chuck. Unless then they went. So who's paying for the damage cleanup of all the stuff that they dumped into? Literally, it was an old paint factory, and they just dumped everything into the ground.
There's a Superfund site about a 10-minute walk from my house, or
really?
It was a Superfund
and they cleaned it
site.
up.
Yeah, they used to make aircraft there during like the 40s and 50s.
The Bethpage, the Grumman. Oh, what are you talking about then? Which place?
So if you go up the street from my house, there's that park.
Okay.
They're expanding the park. The expansion of the park
to cover
used
over
to be an old. So they had to clean it up, and now it's
wow, I sound terrible. Sorry. Yeah.
There's soccer fields and shit up there now, and
yeah,
that used to be a Superfund site.
So you're going to be playing soccer on an old toxic waste dump, pretty much.
Farmingdale actually has. There were several aircraft companies that. That's why Republic Airport is there. So,
and if you remember, right where like the Stu Leonard's was, back when we were kids in high school, that was a huge factory.
Yeah,
huge factory, and they tore that down.
The remains of one of those is still there too.
Is it? Oh, on the other side of the tracks.
On the other side.
Yeah, on the side of the tracks. Because they used to have a conveyor that would go over Hempstead Turnpike, because that's the old Hempstead Turnpike there, right? That goes through. I know it's not Hempstead Turnpike, but it's called.
Yep.
Conklin. Conklin, correct.
Yeah.
As it goes through Farmingdale. And they used to have like a huge conveyor belt that went over so they could feed the trains that would pull up on that train track.
It's getting very off topic, but so there's the museum there, the American Air Power Museum at Republic Airport, and they have, I think they're up to everything now, but they have an example of every plane that was built on Long Island.
Wow. So they've satisfied the entire set?
Let's see. They have an A-10, an F-105, a Republic F-105,
okay.
Fairchild A-10,
yeah,
Grumman F-14, Republic F-111,
okay,
a Grumman EA-6B Prowler. Aviation is something I'm obviously more of a nerd about.
That.
So
that's quite cool. And then they're full size, right? They're not.
These were planes that were in use and they are retired, so they have their any of their avionics, engines, and armaments are removed. But
right, yeah, obviously you can't have live ammunition sitting on the.
Some of the older examples are still functional, so they have some World War II era stuff that's.
I've seen that. Yeah,
they still fly every now and then, but all the stuff from Vietnam and forward is all non-functional, so no engines anymore.
Right. To bring that all back around for the beer element, there is a festival going on here on Long Island in February called Hops and Props. Hops and Props is happening at the Cradle of Aviation over by Nassau Coliseum, Nassau Community College area. It's nice, right?
It is.
I was there. Used to go there with camp when I was the assistant director of a camp, and it's awesome, very interactive. A lot of cool like movies, 3D stuff.
Blast.
Yeah, just jumping in and out of cockpits and such.
Yeah, that's full-size cockpits set up. They have
very cool.
Some stuff from the lunar landing.
Yes, big warehouse, like not a warehouse. What do you call it? The big airfield building. What do you call it? Hangar. Thank you. Wow. I'm not feeling well, please.
It's near Roosevelt Field,
Right.
which is another iconic space in
Yes.
in the.
I mean, again, when we
flight
were
history of the
kids,
country.
I remember Roosevelt Field Raceway.
Not only that,
And I
Roosevelt
watched
Field's
them
where,
tear it down.
Charles Lindbergh took off
Of
on the
course.
first transatlantic flight.
In fact, some of those air strips are still sitting in the back of Nassau Community's parking lot.
How about that?
Actually, most of the parking lot was the airfield. And then if you go into the, I'm going to try the east side of Nassau Community College, behind all these bushes and stuff, if you went through there, there was a landing area that was still intact that they haven't developed on or knocked down or broke up. So that was kind of cool. If you go through that area with the history of aviation here on Long Island, they try to kind of link it into beer, to be honest with you, because there's stuff going on all the time at some of these venues that match up beer with, really cool history.
I mean,
and
what
stuff.
I
would love
mixes
it.
better with beer than trying to fly an airplane?
Right. or learning about history. I think that's where they were going with that.
Oh, okay.
So Pete and I cracked a beer here tonight. I'm going to apologize ahead of time for all the people watching, but I'm not feeling all that well. So drinking beer is a terrible idea.
drink
But
for
I am
two.
going to taste it along the way and have a few sips just to get the flavor and essence. So give me a little bit about what happened here and where
This
did you
is
get
something
this.
I got from a buddy at work, Marty. Go Fast Apparel.
Marty. Oh, he's the Go Fast guy.
He's Go Fast.
Ah,
yes,
okay.
yes.
Thanks,
Marty,
buddy, on Instagram. Go Fast guy. I got you.
He races, so he has
In Texas?
In Texas, he has
That's
a Camaro
cool.
that's autocross, I believe, is the class of car. So he has Camaro
Okay.
that he's done dumped way too much money in.
Yeah.
But he's also into the craft beer scene, so we do some trades every now and then.
Nice.
So we got from Rar and Sons Ugly Pug Black Lager, and
Ugly Pug.
he sent me a couple things from Rar. and they're
P-U-G-H?
fucking great.
Yeah. So what? Give me a little breakdown on what this is. It's
It's a black lager, aka Schwarzbier.
Schwarz. Who's
which-
got the Schwarz?
I am a huge fan of. I love that style. Obviously dark in color. It's actually lighter in color than some of the other ones I had, like the Shipwrecked from Long Beach.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's a little lighter in color than that.
It's a little
but
definitely lighter because
It's something that, but all
it's
the
almost like a brown, which
Oh.
that's not the phone. I'm testing out the lines
Oh,
to make
okay.
sure they work because people are saying they tried to call but they couldn't. And I'm telling you right now, I just made both phone calls to both lines and they both work. So 516-465-3990, 516-513-0515 is the number. And Pete put the thing back on the lower third there. Thanks, buddy.
Yep.
Appreciate
And yeah, I don't know. I like Schwarzbier because it's one of those darker beers that it's not very heavy.
I agree. Yeah, I
So
agree.
that-
And always has this roasty,
Yep.
chocolatey, but
Fucking delicious.
not like ink.
Not not.
And
it's
I
not
like
like
ink.
you're drinking again. It's not. Doesn't taste like a. Looks like a stout. Doesn't taste like it at all.
Almost like a Smithwick's, because Smithwick's comes in that brown
Okay.
or Killian or something of that, variety. So that is it, but it doesn't have that flavor at all.
Yeah,
It's
I liked it, but
nice.
I've liked most of the stuff I've had from RAR. They have. I was selfish with one of them, so the other he sent me another one from RAR.
I just want to take a look at the can art. I love can art.
Their can art's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that looks nice.
Yeah.
5.5 it comes in at. Yeah.
They have a Mexican lager that's really good, Paleta de Mango. So it's Mexican
Same
lager.
thing from RAR.
Yep, from
Yeah.
RAR, flavored with mangoes and chili peppers.
It's
And
in Fort
fucking
Worth,
great.
Texas. Yeah, my wife's been down there a few times, but has come back with different ones. I like this. This is really good.
Yeah, RAR makes good shit.
Dark in color, light in body, notes of caramel, chocolate, coffee, roasted malt. Boom. That's exactly what I taste.
Yeah,
They nailed
yep.
it on the head. Yeah, I like Schwarzbier. I like that word, a.k.a. Schwarzbier.
Let's see, what are the other ones? I've had a couple things from them.
Yeah, if you're traveling down to the Texas Fort Worth area, I would highly recommend grabbing some RAR. This is
I wasn't a huge
wonderful.
fan of the other one I had from them, Adios Pantalones. I really wanted it because of the name.
Yeah.
And it was
you brought
not
that
for
in,
me.
didn't you?
Yeah. I was
We
not
had
a
it at
fan.
your Cinco de Mayo party, I
Yeah.
believe.
Was not a fan of that one.
No, we ended up
unfortunately,
drinking
but
a lot more Isla del Fuego or
Yeah.
Isla del Fuego
I like that's
from Dan.
Yep. But the Paleta de Mango was good shit.
Yeah.
I gotta try the rest of this. I had Iron Thistle from them. Their
Ooh,
Scotch
okay.
ale. That
Yeah.
was pretty good.
All right. I'll take that.
But they have cool can art. They have some good sounding beers. If you go onto their website, there's a picture of Santa shitting down a chimney.
That's great. That's crazy.
But now they've kind of similar marketing to Montauk, where the cans are
Color.
all different colors.
Yeah.
I like
think
it.
a lot of people picked up on it.
It's simple. I like it.
No, it is, and that's what Scott said. Scott from Long Island said it's a brilliant marketing campaign.
Oh, yeah.
It's a line that says "Come as you are," and it's a color that tastes like the color.
Yeah,
and that's it. And then you know what you're
and
getting.
actually, coincidentally, that's what I'm sending to Marty next. Is some stuff. I'm going to send him three
and
of
the
red
arrow.
arrow, and
and the fact that it's $9.99 a 6-pack, not 14 something or 18 for a 4-pack. So with that said, I want to tell you, maybe Nux is listening tonight, or Maddie went in to visit Nikki Nux, our correspondent from Queens and Brooklyn, and we hit up 3 different breweries one day, and then the next day we hit some Long Island ones. Oh, I was saying small craft before and whatnot, but let me tell you a little bit about the adventure in Queens. So, we were looking for like a hub, an area where we could travel to a few, maybe not walk, but just travel to a few within a...
Uber it up?
No. We drove because we were only going to have a beer at each, and it's all about, just tasting and then to go. I wasn't getting hammered.
You didn't swish and spit.
I could have. That's what she said.
Giggity.
So we went over and we started at Finback. I met him at Finback. Small little place right there, nestled into this nice little area, actually. It's a really nice neighborhood, which makes it more difficult to park and to kind of get what you want. They just had opened, so they're not in the world, but just for the day. We got there right at the opening for the day. And they had, I would say, probably 12 different cans for sale, ranging from everything. I mean, stouts, porters, IPAs, variants of IPAs. They had a Brut. We had the Brut. We had it. It was the blue can. No, I'm sorry. We take that. We had the Krolsch.
Okay.
We had the Krolsch. I brought it in for one of our tastings. And it was solid. I think they had the Krolsch, too, which I've had already. And like I said, just a really good selection. Almost like going to a mini beer store, but all their beer. Then they had
try another Brut IPA. I really like the one from
Harborhead.
From Harborhead.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
There's another one I just saw out there that someone was making that they were... experiment. Maybe it's Other Half or something like that. Someone was doing something. It's hard to... We follow so many people just because I want to see what's going on all the time. Yeah. How many breweries do you think out of those 5,000 people we follow are actual breweries? I'd say 4,000.
Well, I don't know about that. But
no, trust me. I'm the one that follows most of them. And every time I find a brewery, if you hit the arrow down, you can find out other accounts that are like that in the area that they're in. So if I find something from Louisiana...
Okay.
Right? So then I'll follow that brewery, I'll drop down the thing, and I'll look through the list of what's in the area, what's related, and I'll just follow every brewery that's on there because I'm always interested in what everyone's doing. And what they've done is on Instagram is they've actually stopped doing the way they used to organize things for you was in order of time, what the most current post was. So right now, my third post on a feed is from 2 days ago. So it's not really that. It's not about the recency of the post anymore. Now it's about the trending of it. And so we get the most popular stuff up front. So if you want to find something from something a little less popular, you do have to go out and try to search it. And I don't know if you guys also saw Long Beach is in the midst of constructing and building. Their concrete's in. They're ready to go. They're putting things together. I did reach out and say, congratulations, everything looks great. What's the matter?
No,
you gave it that look.
No. I wanted to look at their account.
Yeah. Look at their account because they put some videos up and they'll showing you what they're working on. So it's pretty cool. So anyway, we went over to Finback and had a beer, grabbed some stuff to go. I brought that stuff here with me today. We got Ultramarine, which is a double dry hop, and then we brought Grapefruit Crush, which is a single with sort of a tart grapefruit flavor, but I don't think there's actually grapefruit juice in it. I think it's just straight up the way they prepared the hop profile, right? Which is awesome. I do like that. One of the first ones that I've had, like Castaway from Kona did that, and it was unbelievable. I love that beer. So we picked up our stuff from Finback and went on to, where do we go to next? Yes, Bridge and Tunnel. Rich and the Bridge and Tunnel members were all there. Everyone was kind of hanging out. This was a Saturday, fairly early in the afternoon. And, wow, what a great place, man. The stuff they have on tap was awesome. I grabbed some of the Chipotle Porter to bounce out of there with, and the people who I've let taste it and give it to, they're very surprised. They're expecting, Chipotle, like spicy. But no, it's kind of like this really subdued, at the end of the mouthful kind of spice that really brings out the porter smokiness. It's almost smoky rather than being like spicy, hot on your tongue. I thought it was great, and I've had it before. I think I got it at Copax Fine Fair, and then ended up getting it right from them. And we had another, some sort of other stout there. He does dark beers really, really, really well. And the place is tiny, man. You know, in Brooklyn, space is
Oh yeah, costly.
very costly. I mean, it's
How big of a system do they have?
He was busy. He's running the whole thing himself, dude. He's like a crazy man behind the taps. Boom, 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 boom. He's washing the glassware in a sink like a bartender. He's got people on the floor. He's bringing popcorn over. He's doing everything. It looked like they had about 3 fermenters. If I'm not sure which one was which, but there it is. Those fermenters were brewing. I mean, he said he was constantly brewing stuff. Constantly stuff is going to go on the rotation and back on taps, and you know some of the most popular stuff is there. And we'll pick up my story in just a moment. Right now we have somebody on the phone. This is Wort with Mike and Pete. Who am I talking to?
Oh, hi. It's Miss Lady. I'm calling you guys from Ontario.
Wow, how are you from Canada, eh?
Good. How are you guys tonight?
Thank you very much for calling into the show. We follow you. You've commented a couple times on some of our posts. We appreciate that. And we're really just...
Appreciate it back.
no problem. I'll give you the big plug later at the end so everyone can follow you. But tell us a little about the beer scene up there. We were talking at the beginning of the show today of you know, our reach here on Long Island and then beyond has been getting better and better. We see an explosion here, but we're really not in it, you know, outside of this country or really even outside of the Eastern Seaboard. So give us a little rundown of how the scene is up by you.
So Ontario, the craft beer scene is exploding. Between Ontario and Quebec, it pretty much accounts for 50% of the Canadian beer scene. Like, we at least have half the breweries.
Jesus.
Recently, like, especially in Ontario, I'd say one of the big influential breweries is Bellwoods. A lot of people who've traveled up here have been recommended to them.
Really?
They definitely influenced the huge sour scene that is right now. So it started kind of with kettle sours, and I feel like it's definitely progressing towards barrel-aged sours.
Is that kind of what their specialty is doing those, you know, sour beers or gozes or things like that?
Well, they have a really great reputation for all of the beers they make. So they make a lot of fruit sours. Their famous one is Jelly King, and they've had many varieties of that. And I feel like a lot of the surrounding breweries, like it's definitely blowing up in Toronto. They're a Toronto brewery. I live in Guelph. I work for Royal City Brewing, and Guelph's been a town too that even though it's a small town, has already has like 5 different breweries. Has had other breweries. There's definitely a lot of surrounding breweries, and I think all these surrounding breweries and these new ones that have been innovative have caught up to the trend and kind of propelled it and kept it going by also making their own versions of it.
That's awesome. Just so interesting of how other towns go about their journey, you know, their story and how it ends up exploding because of one brewery. What would you say the name of that brewery was again?
So I work at Royal City Brewing. The brewery I was talking about is from Toronto. They're Bellwoods Brewing.
Oh, Bellwoods, yeah.
I definitely know what you're talking about, because even in Guelph, like, we always kind of had a place on the beer map. Like, we have Sleeman's in town, and there's a lot of history there, especially with Prohibition and them being one of the older breweries. And then we also are the home of Canada's oldest independent brewery, microbrewery. It's Wellington.
Wellington, yes, I've heard of that one.
Yeah. So for a long time, it was those breweries, and there wasn't really, I wouldn't say it was a huge craft beer scene, but it was definitely like they had their independent beers. I work at Royal City, and then, so we opened up, and then all of a sudden I just felt like in Guelph alone, all the breweries started like coming out of their shells, basically, and connecting with one another, doing collabs. Like, definitely not a competitive scene. I feel like every time a new craft brewery opens, it's just an opportunity for everybody to work together on something, or another brewery to come to the Cask Festival.
Right. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about Royal City, since you're part of that. What do you do for them, and give us a little background on that brewery.
So it opened 4.5 years ago. It's 2 friends, actually. They've been friends since elementary school. And our master brewer, he
I gotta stop you for 1 sec because the phone goes in and out. Must be the Northern Lights up there.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not that far north.
You were
now?
phasing out a little bit, so I wasn't getting those last few lines. Just go back to what you said about the history and what they were going through.
So basically,
There you
friends.
go. Hey,
and
how
they
are you?
wanted
That's it.
They just wanted to make their own beer.
Okay.
And they were really loyal to Guelph. They have some fond memories from going to university here. We're a big university town.
Right.
And, so they opened up this brewery. And then it just kind of it created, it was just happening at a time where the craft beer scene was exploding around here.
Yeah, right place, right time.
Tell me a little.
So, one of our front of house managers, he actually teaches the Prud'homme classes. So down there's you have your Cicerone, and up here we have Prud'homme, which is your beer education course. That's highly standardized.
You think it's just a difference in name, or there's actually different stuff that's taught from each?
Oh, you know what? I've done both. They're very similar.
Oh, okay.
I think it's just what's common to the area that you're working at a brewery or dealing with beer.
Right, of course.
Yeah. So, so Royal City just basically they try to keep up with the trends, the new innovative stuff, but especially to try to make a lot of beers true to style.
So
sometimes people get lost from that, right? And you still want to have a good example of an Oktoberfest or a good example of what a Doppelbock is. And
you got to have those staples in there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we have a few Germans working at the brewery, so.
Well, that helps.
I'm on the website now, and there's a few things on here that sound really interesting, like the hibiscus saison. Can you talk a a little bit about that one?
Well, I saw that you guys posted about a hibiscus beer you had recently.
Yes,
true. So it was literally, I think it was like the first year we were open, and they were just, we were a very innovative brewery collaborating with people. We collaborated with a tea lady, a lady who sold gourmet teas.
Right.
So we made 2 beers. We made the hibiscus saison, and we made an Earl Grey porter. And because it was just a new, unique thing, it sold out. Well, hibiscus, there seemed to be like a seasonal demand. Like no matter what season, it was high in demand. And every time we made a batch, it sold right out.
Earl Grey sounds awesome. That Earl Grey porter sounds dope.
What's the process there? Are you just like brewing the? Are you steeping the tea in the wort, the hot wort?
We dry hop it.
Yeah.
We just dry hop Earl Grey. And what's so funny about this beer is we actually behind the scenes we have a list of memes where we joke about people asking for the Earl Grey porter because we keep it seasonal.
Yeah.
It feels like when it's not on the shelves, every other time people are asking about it, and it actually is coming out this week.
Nice.
And it's actually a big deal. It's probably our ironically big claim to fame, even though maybe the head brewer he would prefer to make a classic style.
Mm-hmm.
It's ironic that something like Earl Grey porter is something that everybody's talking about.
And, I'm looking at one of the stories on your social media for the hibiscus saison. Great artwork. I love different kinds of artwork, and it just looks very traditional, but yet very modern.
So that is Kai, and Kai has been our original graphic designer from the beginning. And honestly, I think it was one of the most awesome things they did as a brewery was to stick with the same graphic artist, because she really has created such an imagery for what our beer, she gives life to what the beer tastes like with her pictures.
Nice.
She's actually kind of a little bit of I would consider her a local celebrity here around Guelph.
Okay.
Because she does so many different projects. She's actually worked for a lot of different breweries too. And she releases a free publication around town as well.
Right.
Yeah, she's responsible for all of the artwork. Her name is Kai Sepulus.
Ooh.
And her
sounds sultry.
Issue is Toop.
What a sultry name.
I'll make sure she.
Let her know. Let her know the boys at the Wort think her name is very sultry.
Yeah, she's done everything from the beginning. She kind of created the standardized label for us.
Yeah. And so what are your flagships? What do you guys do year-round? What are your standard styles?
So I always say our flagship beer is Smoked Honey Brown Ale.
Okay.
It was one of the first beers that was on our list, and it's been consistent since.
Okay.
That alongside hibiscus. So up here we have the LCBO. If you in Ontario, you have to sell your beer at the exact location you make it.
Okay.
Or you can sell it through the beer store or the LCBO. Those are both like specific agencies that can sell the beer.
Right.
Unlike, down there where you can buy it at different gas stations. Smoked honey and hibiscus have been our two staples that are really popular in the LCBO. Okay. The smoked honey is kind of a hybrid between like an English brown ale and a Vienna lager. And I call it a gateway smoked beer because, we have some Germans working at the brewery, and we have a Rauch beer that we've made. This, I feel like, is a good stepping stone to someone who's maybe not ready for a full frontal, like, smoked beer.
Yeah.
Can you say that style again?
Boil.
Yeah. You had a very German, accent in there, and I think being around the German brewers has rubbed off on you a little bit. But what was that style called again?
A Rauch beer.
Rauch.
So it's R-A-U-C-H beer and B-I-E-R.
I have not had that style before. Can you what is that style? Can you talk about that?
So it's a smoked beer. So usually 50% of the malt bill will be some type of smoked malt. Okay. We specifically use Beechwood smoked malt, and the best way to describe it is it tastes like a campfire in your mouth.
That sounds awesome.
Beer that would pair perfectly with a nice sausage. That sounds weird, but
sausages,
just like the smoky flavors are meant to be paired with food. This is a beer that'll make you hungry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, I haven't really eaten anything since breakfast, if that, and so that is kind of making me a little hungry. Maybe I'm starting to feel better thinking about all this delicious beer and food.
Smoked honey is a gateway smoked beer because sometimes people aren't ready for the smoke flavor. I describe it best as if you've been sitting around a campfire for a while, and sometimes the smoke comes your way, but then you go for a sip of your beer, and the smoke smell is collected in the circumference of your cup, and you get that that smoky flavor from the campfire. So I love Rauch beer because it reminds me of good times around a campfire. Other people need a little talking.
Yeah, well, you're always going to have the haters that think it has way too much flavor in any one direction. So they just got to.
But it is a classic style.
Yes.
Before they perfected the art of malting, these are some of the flavors that came through.
That's definitely different. We don't have too many Rauch styles here.
I have never had.
You know what? Now
I don't
we got
know anyone that makes them.
We maybe have our new style for the Wort brew that we might end up doing this year.
So it's funny because I did notice a lot of similar trends that are going on up here when I traveled through the States last month. Okay. And we went to Asheville, North Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
Which was
great
awesome.
Beer scene.
And, Wicked Weed had a few smoked beers.
Oh, yeah.
Another
probably some good smoked meats can be had around that area, too. Yeah. Fucking North Carolina has got really good barbecue.
Is it? Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, they do some great stuff. I see people trade Wicked Weed online a lot. It's one of those, staples in the North Carolina area. And the fact that it's in Nashville, it's a heavily trafficked tourism area, it definitely helps to be a brewery that can
It was a beautiful little town. And, as a Canadian from a hippie little town up here, I can't wait to go back and spend more time there.
Yeah. And just a quick question. Where you are right now, how often does it get warm, and how long do you have for warm weather to enjoy beer outside or, hanging out in the summer and stuff like that?
So I think it's all about perspective because as it starts to slightly get warm, it might be considered a cold day to someone else, but we're all for it. After a long winter, we don't even care. Like if the sun's, like the other day actually, it was still snowy on the ground, but it was sunny. So people come out of their homes, they get excited about that.
Absorb the vitamin D as best they can.
Totally. But I say by May you'd be good for some outdoor sports, maybe plant your seedlings, and then it starts to dip down in September. Now I don't know if it's global warming, but it seems to keep warm until the very end of September.
I don't know if you've heard that, but global warming is a Chinese hoax, so I wouldn't worry about that.
Nah, Jesus.
I'm sorry. I don't know if that translated well above
the
northern.
Yeah, above Vermont. So where I'm looking at a map and just to give myself a clue.
Where is Ontario?
No, I know where it is. Yeah, just to give our audience members a little like perspective, it's really just north of like New York and Pennsylvania.
It's true. I'm really not that far from the border.
No.
It literally we could be in the States in 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A
so
little bit of a 2
my
hour
wife
drive,
went to
so-
school in Rochester. So you're only a couple hours away from there, maybe 4 hours, maybe, I would say. Yeah,
So you can imagine what the weather's like. It doesn't get that much more drastically different. It's whatever you would experience in New York, and Buffalo, and you know, any of the northern states we experience here.
So you're
especially like the same as like Michigan being near the Great
right, and I was just about to say, so Michigan's right on the other side there, and we're expecting to hear from the Green Eye Beer Babe today. Heather is going to call in. She's going to have very similar.
She's not going to call in again.
No, all right.
It's going to be a Charlie Brown football moment.
It is. Well, we'll just keep saying she's going to call up until 10 o'clock, and then she may or may not. But I think she's on the same latitude you are, stuck in right in that Michigan area, so she'll probably experience the same kind of weather that you are. And I've been up to the Rochester area, and you got that lake effect snow between. You're kind of surrounded, though, by Huron, Erie, and Ontario there.
Yeah, I will be honest. It is freezing rain right now, but I can say there's like no snow on my front lawn.
Oh, good.
So I'd rather have nice fluffy snow than freezing rain, but I'd also rather just drive back down to Florida and
All right, awesome.
escape this whole winter. Yeah.
So, other than the Royal City that you work for, what is your favorite brewery? I know you're going to be biased to the brewery that you're with, but are there other ones that stand out in your immediate area? I guess what I'm saying is, now that I think about it, if we go up north to like Rochester area, you're stone's throw away. You could visit all those crazy breweries that are in that area.
It's true, especially in Niagara. You're going to hit quite the scene because the Niagara Brewing College is there.
Yes.
So, to be honest though, because I work at a brewery, I don't get to go to a lot of other breweries. I wouldn't know what to recommend down there.
Right.
But people would definitely tell you if you went to Toronto to go seek out Blood Brothers or Bellwoods or Folly Brew Pub.
Oh yeah.
Those are just some, but there's honestly so much. It's blown up here. One of my favorite, people always ask me, what's your favorite beer, which is an impossible question.
I would say, what's your favorite style? We've learned that along the way, that if you just ask about the style, that's easier than asking about the actual beer, because there's so many that are so good.
Even that is tough, because I'm from Canada, so my favorite style changes with the season.
Good point.
So,
yeah, I would say
now,
I love browns, but I can't find the browns in the summer, so
okay.
Unless I'm going to your brewery.
No, see, we would probably release more of them. Well, we have the brown ale, the smoked honey brown ale, but we would probably release things more seasonally.
Right.
I would say definitely right now I would go for a Munich Dunkel or any type of dark lager.
Yes.
But come summertime, I appreciate so many different styles. I'm really excited for Earl Grey Porter to come out, and some of my colleagues are laughing at me. But yeah, I would say it definitely changes with the season. But one of my first craft beers that always stood out to me was from Unibrew Brewing, and that's in
I love
Quebec.
Unibrew. Yes.
Okay, you guys get that down there. That's right.
That was outside of Sam Adams or some of the local stuff.
Yeah.
That was one of the first breweries that I had. One of the early craft beer bars down here.
I think that's me too. Yeah.
Mordite is one of my
Monde.
all-time favorite. La Fin du Monde is world class triple.
Yeah. Yeah, Pete's very much into the.
I love Unibrew.
Yes,
the only ones I don't.
The
Ephemers series, I'm not a big fan of.
Right.
Too sweet.
Oh, okay.
But
they're fruitier.
Yeah.
But La Fin du Monde is definitely one of my go-tos. I was so surprised when I tried one of those, and then I found out it was 9%. I was actually a little bit scared.
Well, just have one or two. Don't go crazy.
Oh no, totally. But I mean, you taste it, and if you didn't know, you would keep drinking them easily.
Yeah, we're finding more and more that brewers are finding very clever ways of masking alcohol while keeping the percentages around 9 and 10. I think 9's really that cap, right on the borderline, where if you go to 10, it's you could taste it a little bit. But 9, they've been masking stuff. We had stuff recently that was a 9, and we're like, this is not a 9. Yep, it's a 9.
I think Unibrew was probably one of the first high octane ones. If not La Fin, then maybe the Terrible. I think that one's that one's 10%. I think, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, well, I think you might have answered it, but your favorite style is just kind of cyclical and dealing with the seasons, obviously.
That's true. I appreciate a lot of innovative styles too. Like I like a nice herbed or spiced beer if it's something original and it works well. I always thought black IPAs were really cool, even though they're an oxymoron in a way. But just the fact that you get like that full roasty flavor and a like full hop flavor, I felt like it was just a good sign for where the craft beer scene was going when they first came about. And it's true, they're trying everything, finding out what everybody likes.
All right, being in the scene, have you been doing any trades? Has anybody around you that you know of trading beer online? Because we're kind of concerned about the border, to be honest with you.
So I've only heard of one person. I had one person come into the brewery. He specifically was buying beer to ship to a pen pal in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Okay.
And he also mentioned
is he currently
that he was
incarcerated?
Yeah, is he in jail now?
No, is it illegal? Is it?
Oh, yeah, it's definitely illegal.
Yeah, I mean, but it's one of those laws where it's like,
So is speeding, though.
That's true.
Okay, because I wanted to find out about that. Like, if it is legal to send beer to the States.
Actually, I have a super important question. Because I'm on your website right now, Royal City's website, I should say, and I see like I can buy beer online. Do you guys ship to the States?
Well, that's where my question was going.
Anywhere in Ontario, though.
God damn it!
Shit. The border.
Can we ship it to the border and have someone walk it across?
Probably.
And then
I think that's easy to do.
Have my USPS driver pick it up and drag it over to Rochester, ship it down from there. I'm sure if I got someone up in Rochester to take the trip, they could do it.
This gentleman that came into the brewery and tried it, and he returned. He was back for a tour on the weekend. He said the beer made it.
Nice.
He also included, he told me, edibles. He said those did not make it.
I'd be a little scared, more scared of.
Did not make it, but the beer made it, which I was like, wow, I'm surprised they wouldn't just keep the whole package. That was
Well, wait, they took
in the same package.
In the same package?
Yeah, he has a beer pen pal. This is someone who comes in to buy beer.
Okay. And
I was just taking it in for, just to know for myself if I ever send beer.
Absolutely.
So he tried to ship
beer and edibles.
Drugs.
The beer made it. He showed me the Instagram post of the person who received the beer.
So wait, I just hold on. I'm super curious now. I just got to get this.
So the mindset is they opened up the box.
So someone had a box.
Yes.
In said box was alcohol.
Yep.
And drugs.
Yes.
And they shipped it from across the border, across an international line.
Customs went through the box. They opened up the box.
They opened it up, said, no, the drugs are not okay.
But the beer is just
fine. The beer's fine, and we're not arresting you.
Right.
Yes.
How the fuck does that happen?
He showed me a picture of the beer on this person's Instagram, and his girlfriend was there too, kind of like laughing at him and like telling him he was an idiot for trying that part. But
they probably said the fucking drug sniffing dog probably ate the edibles.
He just went right through it. Like, oh, what are these gummy bears? Taste so delicious. These sour watermelons. They were awesome.
I am just befuddled by that series of events. But
what's interesting is they opened up the package. They didn't just take the whole package off the line. They opened it up, went through it, take what they didn't think was going to make it down there out, and left the beer in there.
Now I'm not worried about shipping beer whatsoever.
No, if they're only
if
going
they're like,
for
no drugs, we'll just throw those in the garbage.
Now I have a feeling that it was all about crossing the border, though. It wasn't like within the United States. I know many people who ship all of that stuff, and nothing ever happens.
But
it was definitely the border. Paranoid. It was definitely customs.
I mean, it's not like you're shipping a fucking kilo of Coke or anything.
No,
but I mean, like
it's candy.
Still.
You're sending candy that makes you feel happy.
Jesus.
I don't know what to say.
I had a very sheltered childhood.
Yes. Sorry,
you can send beers, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you very much for calling in. You gave us a lot of time. Thanks so much for everything you talked about.
It was fun.
Give us the rundown here of the brewery and your Instagram and where people can find you and follow you. And then, of course, any websites associated with that. Go ahead.
So I talk about beer things, nothing too important, just me and my beer at Brewster Lady, and that's on Instagram.
Good.
And then the brewery that I work for is Royal City Brewing. So I believe the tag is at Royal City Brew.
Good.
The website is definitely at www.royalcitybrew.ca.
CA is your com, right, or your US or whatever it is. So.
Yeah.
That's cool. And Pete was on the website before. A lot of good information about the brewing and the styles and stuff like that they have. So if you're in the northern Pennsylvania or New York area, hit the border, go ahead within an hour or two of Ontario, and check out that really cool scene that's going on up in southern Canada.
Yeah, Guelph, Ontario.
Well, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it.
No problem. I love what you guys do.
Thanks. And
we'll talk again someday.
Absolutely. We want to find out new stuff that's going on. Stay in contact, and we'll talk to you soon.
Awesome. You guys have a great night.
You too. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
That was cool. We got our friend from the north calling in and giving us information about what's going on up there just north of the border. I know you thought Ontario was a little further west, but I knew it wasn't all that far. I just knew it was kind of Toronto, Ontario area. It's
like
also
most
a province,
Americans, I have
right?
problems with maps unless we're currently bombing that country.
Yeah. Well, then you know everything.
If we're dropping bombs, I can pick it out on a map.
Nice.
Like I can find Vietnam, Iraq, Syria.
Yeah. Those are easy.
Yeah, those.
Do you know what I do on the maps? And I do this quite often. I always look at Google Maps and Dubai. I always like to see, their progress on what they've done to those huge condos and stuff like that. That they have they're piping sand from the Adriatic Sea and building island. No, Red Sea. No, it's not the Red Sea.
No.
What is it right there? The Yemen Sea?
No,
Yemen
I
Sea.
don't know.
Oh, don't make me whip out Google Maps and look at the cool little islands.
Where are they in
They are in
the
the eastern part. Dubai is situated on the eastern part of the whatever you call it. The Sinai Peninsula.
Sinai Peninsula?
Yeah. You're trying to figure it out, right?
I am.
I'm thinking red. I'm definitely thinking red. Well, you know what?
Persian Gulf.
Persian Gulf. It is the Gulf War. Duh. Listen, we have two people on the phone at the same time.
Let's try and talk to one of them.
Well, no, we got to put them both on. I don't want to hang up on anybody.
Sure, put them both on.
So we got to figure this out, guys. So just give me a second. Whoever called in first, which I don't know if you would know, but whoever, just take a guess. They would know that, actually, now that you say that.
Put them both on the fucking phone.
All right, yeah. This is where Mike and Pete. Who am I talking to, and try to go one at a time?
I'm first, Mike.
Nick, you fuck. How are you, buddy?
Sick.
All right,
I'm not first.
Wait, stop.
Canada was first. Canada was first. I'm second.
All right, Nick, hold on. Now, who's my other friend on the line?
Charlie, Cypress Brewing Company.
Hey, Charlie. All right, Nick, listen, I'm going to hang up on you.
Go ahead.
No, because I love you, and I know that you won't be offended if I hang up on you.
I love you too, buddy.
All right, buddy.
See you, Nick.
See you later.
We'll get back to you.
Of course.
What up, Charlie? How are you, sir? How's everything, all right?
Hey, I'm fantastic.
Thanks a lot for calling into the show. Listen, I don't know if I had a chance to meet you while I was there. We were in and out. We had kids. It was chaotic. But we quickly ran in because we had some time in between our dinosaur expo that we were going to over at the New Jersey Convention Center. And we really wanted to see, what it was all about. We stopped by, grabbed a quick couple of pints, and and then I grabbed the MIG wench. I think I'm saying it correctly, and took a 4-pack home. And I've been very, very happily surprised by a American style with outside American style with cranberry. No, this. Sorry, Charlie. Hold on a second.
Oh,
just dump it. Dump that outside. Thank you. Because Charlie, I'm not feeling well today. I've already had a few of these MIG wenches. This is my last one. I came on the show and brought it for Pete to try as well while we had you on the phone. So while Pete is cleaning out my glass, give us a little history about the brewery and where you guys are situated and located and who's involved and all that other good stuff.
So you probably didn't meet me, but I'm a chubby white guy with a beard. So
yeah, maybe there was a lot of those in there that day.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, a little bit.
So we're in Edison, New Jersey. We're about 3.5 years old.
Okay.
We're 3 home brewers. 2 of us came from a brew pub, a local brew pub.
Which one?
We were home brewers for about 5-6 years, maybe.
Yeah.
While doing, so I was the general manager of the brew pub, and my partner was the assistant manager.
And where was the brew pub?
In Woodbridge, one town over.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, it's right there.
Both Central Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but so I'm actually. I know it's a beer show, but I'm going to make you jealous right now. Okay. I know that you guys were talking about how hungry you are.
Oh, dude. See, Charlie, it's not about how hungry I am. I haven't eaten anything because I'm not feeling well. I thought pretty much all day, everyone around me thought I was just going to vomit, that I'm getting the stomach virus because it's going around, and I have young kids, and I work in a school. So it was like inevitable.
Yeah, you're getting it.
Yeah, but I don't feel like it. I don't feel nauseous. I just feel completely drained. I was so sleepy. Today is a little pick-me-up because I had a nap, first time in a long time. And and of course, talking to everybody that calls the show, it's just exciting. So that's why I sound a little less than under the weather today. But so you have food?
I'm a fat kid though, so tell me about that.
Yeah, so I it was my understanding that Pete is an amateur chef.
Yes, he does. How did you know that?
Because I'm a smart man.
There you go.
Listen, so here's the thing. So I'm cooking. I just finished sautéing up some. Well, the lovely lady from Canada was on the phone. I was sautéing up some Italian sausage.
Hey.
And I was making some sauce, and now I turned the sauce into gravy. It has made its gravy.
There you go.
So, but the Italian sausage is something special.
Yes.
So it's all pork, okay, and it's actually the pigs, the pigs that it came from.
Tell me about the pig.
Grew up eating Cypress grain.
Really?
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah,
fun.
that was their diet. This is some sausage from my farmer.
That's cool.
Lucky little pigs.
Yeah, lucky me. Lucky big pig.
Fuck
well,
them.
The pigs are dead.
It's
so I
nice
guess
being
not
at the
so
top of the
lucky.
food chain.
Yeah, exactly. I like sitting up here looking down at all the minions.
Absolutely.
So what is I got to know more about this. What does that do to the taste of the sausage? If you had sausage from pigs that were not so fed a delicious diet as them, what's
Yeah, I just told you I'm a chubby guy with a beard.
Yeah.
If it's meat, I eat it.
I'm looking in a mirror right
now. So true.
So my farmer actually brings me meat fairly regularly.
Really?
So I get great ground deer. I get some deer chops, some pork chops, fresh bacon, sausage, nice pieces of beef, good fresh hamburger meat. I get all this stuff, man.
Wow. And so the farm, where is that located?
So the farm's out in Lighthouse Station, which is out West Jersey.
Okay. Yeah, a little less.
Never Land.
Yeah, a little more spread out over there, so you can actually have things grazing in the fields.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so give us a little bit about what brews you guys are putting together for your year rounds.
So year round, you'd be happy. We have a nut brown on.
Yes, I love it. I love the nutter. That's
we
actually
always have a nut brown and a coconut nut brown, and they come in at about 4 sticks. Those are our only sessionable beers 90% of the time.
Mm. I love
We're a higher ABV brewery.
Yeah.
In fact, I guess you must have come around Thanksgiving.
Yeah, no, it was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. And I guess then Naughty and Nice were sold out. Our Christmas beers were already sold out.
I think
that was our Thanksgiving beer.
Yeah, I think you had Nice on tap, but you didn't have anything to go. You just had the MIG to go. So I would have tried more of that.
We sell out of them pretty quickly. So Midwest actually. So what happened was we haven't brewed a beer. We haven't brewed a beer that light on our new system.
Really?
So and we've had the system for a year and a half. So it sounds kind of. I guess we do make a lot of high ABV beers.
Yeah.
And we ended up with like 10 barrels extra of yield. So it was lovely.
Wow. Oh. Yeah, because how about that?
Not as much grain.
Yeah, well, because we do a lot of double dry hop beers.
Yep.
And we do a lot of 3-hour boils. So our yield is typically on the lower side.
Gotcha.
Right. So do you talk to me about Naughty and Nice, because I saw those posts as I was getting over there just to give myself some education on it. What's the difference between Naughty and Nice? Because it's the same kind of build. Do you split system it?
Yeah, so it's the same base beer is for our anniversary that goes in the barrels.
Okay.
It's the same base beer that goes for Naughty and for Nice. So the plain is just a 13% stout.
Wow.
Just typical Russian Imperial stout. Although I actually do it with I don't know how familiar you guys are with yeast, but I do it with O2, which is it's a great yeast for thicker beer.
Yeah, and we've heard of it.
So, and that's really the high end of the spectrum for where that yeast will go. It's not very happy towards the end of it because it's a little high ABV for them.
Yeah, I think what I did miss is Insane in the Grain. That's one of your staples. I think you're known for that, right?
So we're definitely known for that. We do that a couple times, usually about 3 times a year.
Okay.
We're known for our double IPAs. The Runway Models is another one, and then
what, Runway Models?
Yeah, it's Vic Secret and Galaxy. So it's Runway Models in Space is the name of it.
That's a cool name. I like it.
Yeah, so it's got pink ladies with space helmets on it. Okay. So it's cool label art too.
Who does your label art? Because the MIG wench is pretty cool.
So most of the label, 99% of the label art is Bill, one of my partners.
Okay.
He's really good. In fact, so the naughty, his hands are on.
Really?
Yeah.
That's like
so
a
he
tattoo.
He takes the time to do it right.
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
Miigwech, by the way, is how you say it, and it means thank you in some American Indian language.
Oh, Miigwech, yeah. Miigwech, yeah, okay. Oh,
yeah, so it means thank you.
Yeah, cool.
But so naughty and nice, they're 13%, super thick. Final gravity is like 1038, which is off of the charts for our canning company.
Okay.
They had to look up how to can it, like what pressure their machine needs to be at to can it, because they don't typically go that high.
Right.
It is, so naughty and nice both have coffee from our friends over, they're called Penstock Coffee.
Okay.
It's a roastery right down, maybe not even 5 minutes away from us in New Brunswick.
Okay.
And the guy is the owner is a home brewer. His name's Ben. He's a home brewer, and he actually pairs the coffee and then pairs the roast with whatever beer we're making.
Wow.
So the coffee is made specifically for. Oh no, we get even further. That's just the tip of the iceberg.
Let's go down the rabbit hole.
Then they both have cocoa nibs that are from a special place in Peru.
Really?
And we got a guy. His name is Charles, like me, and he actually roasts the cocoa nibs specifically for us in a restaurant in Peru, and we get them shipped to us specially based on each beer, and that's really cool. And then each one has Madagascar vanilla beans, which we get shipped directly from Madagascar to me.
I mean, where
who
else
I
are you
cut them
gonna
all
get
up and soak them in some good, delicious bourbon, because I'm a huge bourbon fan too.
Yeah.
I'm like a giant alcoholic, I guess. I'm a big wino, big bourbon fan, big beer drinker.
Well-rounded.
Yeah.
Nice. So we went over to New Brunswick for lunch because we left early and you guys weren't open yet, and we stopped at one of the restaurants in there. Asked if you had Cypress on tap. They didn't, but there was something else local that they had. What's the nearest brewery to you? Is there any in New Brunswick per se?
No, there's a brew pub in New Brunswick though called Harvest Moon.
That's the one we went to. Yeah, and they didn't. I think they were in midst of just opening. They had something going on, but we didn't get much out of that. So they
do carry us as a guest tap, but they're a brew pub, so most of their stuff is theirs.
Gotcha. Yeah, of course.
They do carry us as a guest tap there, and then they have we're usually at like their cask events and stuff.
Oh, cool. Yeah, and I was going to ask the festivals and stuff, and around the area, you guys have a pretty good area there for Northern Jersey for your explosion that's going on. Even a little bit east of you. Down and around the shore, and let me ask you a question: Are you going to be at the AC Beer and Music Fest?
Yes.
Nice. We can hang out.
We do it every year, and this year I am actually going. I missed the last two. We had the ended with canning dates.
Right.
So Friday and Monday canning date, I can't leave the brewery.
Oh, okay. So there you go.
So I had to send people last year.
What do you think you're gonna bring down? Do you have anything in mind right now? Because we're
not a clue.
I'm not even
an idea.
I mean, so
our schedule is quite interesting.
Yeah.
So we order grain based on an idea.
Okay.
And so Jay, so there's three of us, right?
Right.
So Jay is the main recipe maker. So Jay makes the recipe. Usually I sit there in the chair and hang out and have a beer while he does it, and we chat about it. And, we talk about it up and down. And then as we brew it, so as I brew it, sometimes it doesn't come out the way I want. So every one of our brews is either 2 or 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
So it's great that way because I can always adjust it the second day and get it to where I want it to be. And then even if we have a third day, it's even better because I know exactly where the first two are at, and I can make the third one, and then I make the adjustments accordingly. It's really it ends up being a pain in the ass time-wise, but it's
it sounds like a good system between what you guys got there to make the best, the most efficient stuff possible.
Yeah, we have it down now.
So tell me a little bit about the Miigwech. We have it in front of us right now.
I'm drinking it.
Yeah, Pete's having some. I'm having a little bit of
Mike's
taste.
got swine flu.
Yeah.
But I'm drinking it. And I like it. It's effervescent.
Yep.
It's nice and light. You get that tartness from the cherries.
I do. No, the cranberries.
Cranberries.
Yes.
My bad. It's cranberries and
yes. So most of the tartness actually comes from the cranberries.
Yeah.
It's very low IBU, and it's all Amarillo hopped because for Thanksgiving, I think of cranberries.
Yes, I agree.
Cranberries are always paired with something orange.
I wish I was there before Thanksgiving. I would have definitely had a few of these at the Thanksgiving table because it would paired very well with the turkey and the stuffing and the gravy.
And that's the thing too. Like I said, we don't really make beers on the lighter end that often, but
right.
with shoving your face full of turkey, you need to keep room for that. So we went with a very light beer so that you didn't get full on the beer.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it has that light color, light flavor, Christmas, tartness of the cranberries. And what is it, 5, 6?
So we did it very late in November. We actually released it the weekend right before Thanksgiving.
Right.
So we planned on it sticking around a little bit towards Christmas, so that it would pair with Christmas too.
Yeah, it was awesome. And so tell us anything else you guys got planned going on for the next few weeks, months, and for the year, because you're an easy stone's throw away. It only took us about an hour to get to you from where we are.
Oh yeah, we're not even that. If you come down through Brooklyn and across Staten Island, we're 5 minutes out of Staten Island.
Absolutely, it's literally right there.
Ooh, that's good to know.
I know. They're like one of the first ones over the border that you could find from that direction. So
I think we are. I think we are the first.
Yeah, you have to be. So give us a little rundown of the brewery and what you have coming up and what's going on.
So we have Baby Insane coming up next.
And so what is
about
that?
2 weeks. So it's literally a baby version of Insane.
Oh, okay. So just a
it's,
sessionable...
a lighter version. It comes in at 5.0 even. Okay. And it's all Citra hopped, and it's double dry hopped, and it's a little thinner than our double IPAs. To make it more drinkable, more sessionable, and it's nice and light.
Nice. And so
it's a real just hey, I'm thirsty at 4:00 beer.
You get a lot of people coming in from the in the business park and everything because you're situated kind of where our breweries are situated here on Long Island, just in and around business districts and stuff like that. So you get a lot of people coming off of work and heading through.
So yes, we do. But New Jersey, they make us be in industrial areas.
Right? Oh, really? You can't. Really get out of that, yeah.
So there's So unless you're a really small town with no zoning laws, they force you to be in industrial. So we used to homebrew, right? So we used to homebrew. One day, one of the partners, I'm not going to say which one, screwed up, didn't order enough grain. So we decided that we were going to start a brewery. So we usually drink some nice single malt scotches while we brew. It's kind of our thing.
Jeez, nice.
And we might have been slightly hammered up, but we decided it would be a good idea to get in the car and start driving around looking for a place.
Okay.
So we started looking in commercial areas. We come across this building that there's a for rent sign on the ground, not like on the building, but kind of like leaning on it. So we started looking around and everything. We found this great place. We thought it was fantastic. And I opened up the metal grate and like nothing was locked. We started like almost going in. Then we were like, hold on a second. This is breaking and entering. We're drunk. Sunday morning. Like we probably shouldn't do this.
Yeah, whatever.
So then we looked into it and we found out that it wasn't even an option to be there and that we had to be in an industrial area. So I'm sitting at home one day. This is probably about a year after we decided that we were going to do this. And I'm sitting at home and I get a phone call from Jay. So Jay and I are obviously partners, but we're also best friends. And he was my assistant at my other job. And, we go back a long ways. I'm the godfather to his child. So, we go back a long ways, but he has a tendency of breaking my balls.
Breaking my balls, Cal.
Yeah, he likes to break my balls. So he calls up and he says, get on three-way with Bill. So we get Bill into the phone. He goes, I found this perfect place for us, and Charlie's going to love it. So I'm thinking, great, this asshole picked the furthest fucking place on. I can't curse, right?
No, you could curse. Fucking A.
I was like, because you cursed before, so I was like, all right, I could do that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So I'm like, great. I'm like, this asshole picked the furthest fucking place in my house. I'm like, I'm going to have to move again. I don't like commute. I'm not a driver. I let people drive. I like to drink.
Okay.
So I'm like, great. I'm like, I'm going to have to move again. So he sends us this address, Nixon Lane, 30 Nixon Lane. I'm like, what the hell is that, Nixon Lane? So it doesn't put a town or anything in it.
Right.
So I'm like, what the hell is this? So I put in my GPS. It's literally 1,000 yards away from my house.
Jesus Christ. So you literally live right there?
Yeah. So the first light that you hit, I'm before that.
Okay. Yeah, there's a little community right there.
Yep, I live there.
Shit. Dude, you can walk to the brewery. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's so it's
crazy.
My town I live in, I work in. I'm Edison's environmental commissioner, one of Edison's environmental commissioners too.
Oh, staying involved.
Big on the environment.
Make sure you have a say in everything.
Environmentally friendly.
Yeah, of course. As all should be.
We compost all of our hops, and all of our grain goes to the farm, so we don't really have much waste.
And then you send it right back to and get your pig, You send your grain and get your pig.
Pretty much. That's what
Nice.
happens.
Very
I get free food out of it.
Very cyclical
and
and delicious.
And don't waste garbage.
Yeah, that makes sense. You know, because then it's money out of your pocket or money out of the farmer's pocket. Your prices go up. Everything.
Oh yeah,
ends
I
up
own a
being
business in New Jersey. I'm poor. I need this free food.
Listen, it was I think it was a Saturday, and it was early. I think we got in there right at opening, a little after 12 o'clock, and there was almost no chairs to be had. Thank God there was a guy leaving as we were coming in who gave up his seat so we could snack on some of the pretzels and put the kids there and have something to do while we pounded down a beer before we went back to the Dino Expo.
Yeah, so we're very proud of our brewery. So we actually allow everybody to go into the brewery because that tap room gets packed quickly.
Yeah.
So we just open up the brewery so everybody can hang out throughout the whole place.
That's awesome. I looked through the door as someone went in to get my 4-pack. Your bartender, who was very nice, by the way. Awesome. I sent her a koozie. I don't know if you got the koozie. I gave her some stickers and a koozie just to kind of... We always like to give something out when we have guests on the show.
Nice. I don't know which bartender it is, so I may not have seen it.
I didn't get her name. It was a blonde girl in her 20s, so maybe that'll help. Unless you just hire all.
Oh, that's my taproom manager.
Oh,
so
there you go.
came with us from the brew pub too.
Oh, nice. Yeah, she was great. She's very informative. She gave me a couple of walkthroughs here on the beer, and everything ended up being really great. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, a 22-year-old blonde girl with glasses, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, so how about this? She's 22, and she has 6 years brewery experience.
How the fuck did she do it? She come from the pub, right? So
she came from the pub,
right.
Okay, and it's just a local business. It's a real local place.
Right.
And she started off as my hostess there.
So if
Worked
she started
her way
out
to bartender, and
right, yeah, that's how most of them started. That makes a lot of sense, and that's the way a lot of these people become the great master brewers because they get in on it really, early on, and they learn a lot, and they keep their mouths shut, and they just keep brewing away and take their bumps, take their hits, and when it's their time, it'll be their time.
Are we talking about Coke again?
Yeah. Yes.
Jesus.
No bumps of Coke.
We have a lot of new young brewers in New Jersey.
Absolutely. We talked to the guys over at Red Tank and Ross and all sorts. Those guys have been on the show.
So Ross, I know. I don't know anybody from Red Tank.
I forget their name. John and Mervina.
Lenova.
Yes, there you go. And they just opened up like a month ago or so.
I blurted that out so loud.
Yeah, that was good, though.
I was glad I remembered it.
You do. Peter, thank you.
He was proud of that.
Charlie, listen, thanks very much for coming on the show, for the education and the information about the brewery. Give us the plug and tell us a little bit about it. And hopefully people can
we're open 7 days a week. We're one of the only ones, if not the only one in New Jersey, open 7 days a week, 2 to 10. CypressBrewing.com is the website. Facebook, Cypress Brewing Co.
Nice.
Instagram, Cypress Brewing Co. also.
Nice. All right. Thanks, Charlie, for being on the show. We really appreciate it, man. I'll be
All
excited
right,
to get back out to you.
Have a good time, guys.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good one. I just put on a little Queen because you said my best friend.
Oh.
Yeah, so I had that run in the background.
I was going to say,
light.
is that what you like? Why are you like bobbing your head back and forth? Like,
yeah, because right here it is. Well, we're going to go right back to the phone. Someone's been on hold for a little bit. I appreciate it. I don't know if it's Nick, but we'll take it. This is the Word with Mike and Pete. Who's on the phone still?
Hey, it's Danny from Island.
Oh,
Hey,
Danny,
what's up,
thanks.
Danny? How are you?
Listen, thanks so much for staying on the phone. We really wanted to get to you. Danny from Island to Island?
Yes.
And you
Island
guys
Island Brewery.
Yes, Island to Island Brewery. And you guys are located right here in New York and Brooklyn, correct?
Yep, we are.
Awesome. Thanks a lot for, you guys have been following us a little bit and liking some of the posts along the way. So thanks for that. And we wanted to get a little bit of history of your brewery as we travel around the Ontario, New Jersey, and now right back home here in Brooklyn, New York. Give us a little information about the brewery, how it started, and the background.
So Island to Island is the first brewery in the Flatbush, Brooklyn area since Prohibition.
Wow.
Which, is kind of interesting little fun fact. It's interesting, too, that the first brewery that was in Flatbush was an all-electric brewery. And now with the comeback of a brewery in Flatbush, we are also an all-electric brewery.
Wow. Okay.
We also are a farm brewery. We are craft. We are micro, so we brew small batches. And that's because we like to experiment a lot with the seasons.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we're not looking to have a beer on, 12 months out of the year.
Well, that's a very interesting concept that Bushwick really hadn't had another brewery until now. And how long have you guys been open?
So we've been at that location since 2015.
Hello, sorry, I have a bad connection. Hello?
No, sorry, he's gone. I don't know who that is, but sorry, Danny.
Cool.
Someone was on the other line like you were, but they didn't know to stay quiet.
Oh,
Mike fat fingered the phones.
No, I don't know if I are you still there, sir?
Yeah, I'm still there. Hello.
All right, give me 1 sec. We're talking to Danny from Island Brewery in Brooklyn. We'll get right to you in a second because I don't want to hang up on you. I don't want to leave you there. You can listen to the show.
Hey, sure. I'm sorry. Hey, no problem. No problem.
All right, hold on 1
I
second.
lost connection.
I don't think I can hold it. So go ahead, Danny. Continue on. So
Sorry
first
about that.
brewery, first brewery since the Prohibition era. By the way, I'm looking at your Instagram. Rosemary was at your brewery just the other day. 2018.
Rosemary?
She is
Beer Lover.
Inked Beer Lover.
Oh, yes. I know her as Ink Beer Lover. Sorry.
Yes. She's
we
your
all
twin.
have pseudonames on the interwebs.
Yes, I know. We go by our pseudonyms, our avatars. All right, so give me the history. You guys started how long ago, and how did it come to be that? And you're a female in craft, so that's kind of unique. It's changing a lot lately, but it is unique for a female to be a head brewer and an owner of a brewery now. So give us a little bit of background on that.
Yeah, so even that concept of it being strange is strange to me because when I got into this, I was doing it and really pushed by it because, bringing back drinking culture that was something other than, standing on your head, sucking beer back was always my passion. And I've always watched my aunts and my grandmothers brew at home.
Really?
And so when people said that, oh, there's no women in beer, I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
I've been brewing beer since I was a kid. My parents haven't.
Exactly.
So wait, mom and grandma were brewing beer?
Well, see, the thing that happened was the generation after the 50s, they had the microwave and television, so they
Right.
kind of lost the old ways. But in the generation before and right after, we've lived off the land. We've focused on what's natural and what's real and preserving foods, and whether it's through fermentation for pickles or fermentation for beer or wine and the like, that's something that's always been done in my family. It's always been done in the Caribbean. And when I started doing it, my parents started to look at me weird, and they were like, what are you doing? This is what Nana used to do back in the kitchen. How the heck did you know how to do this?
And you were an eager little student just watching along, trying to figure out exactly, what the science was and the timing of everything. I think also...
No, not even. I thought it was all magic.
It kind of is.
I literally thought it was magic. 'Cause my aunt would she'd brew some sorrel, and we would cut the sorrel, which you guys call hibiscus.
Yes.
And then she'd put it in a pot, and she would brew some juice, and we're like, okay, this is delicious juice. And she would put something in it that she called yeast. And then the next day, we had something fizzy and bubbly, and I was like, oh, that's a magic agent. What is that, Pop Rocks? That's cool. I want to do that, too.
You don't have to give us the exact number, but around what age are you?
Oh, I'm 34.
Okay, so you're right with us, yeah.
All right,
I just, because when you said
third
Pop Rocks,
band.
I'm like, I don't know if she's a younger gal. How does she know the Pop Rocks? That's a great reference.
We had our after-school candy store run after
Of
I was
course.
in elementary.
You got to hustle. I was hustling Warheads in the back of religion class. You kidding me?
Oh, yeah.
I go to the deli in town. I grab $3 worth. I go back to school and I'd sell it for $5.
Yeah.
And that was my little nest egg of money that I had there. That's awesome.
Can you tell me about this brewed IPA with the corn? What's that one about?
Oh, that's
Oh,
interesting.
so that's actually a beer that one of our brewers who was working with us over the fall, who just moved to California, did. He really wanted to do a new style of IPA. And, for me, everything that we do has to be indigenous to the Americas. So we don't necessarily brew any European beers or European ingredient
that's
beers.
interesting. Yeah.
We focus on what's indigenous to America.
Cool.
Because
plenty
that's
here to
what
work
I know.
with.
Yeah, well, that's your background, and that's what makes sense the most.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to work with. It's not like you need to...
You really don't. Unless you're looking for a very
Exactly.
specific style, and that's not what you're going to be doing, then that's not
Yeah.
necessary. Great. So what
So,
island...
he worked with the corn, and so it's, he dumped a whole slew of corn in there and just focused on getting it really extremely bone-dry champagne-like IPA.
And that brewed IPA is one of those styles that's kind of coming up. We have a couple of them here on Long Island that have been doing it, but that's one of those up-and-comers that people are going, ooh, like it definitely hits a note with non-IPA drinkers because they used to champagne or used to a very dry sparkling wine. So that definitely helps to have like an alternative to your very hazy or juice bombs and stuff like that. So tell me a little bit about...
and I'm glad for the change.
No, it is something that we need more variance because to go into a brewery and have 5 different hazies sometimes isn't what I'm looking for. I really want the variation. What I know you said you worked with your family in regards to brewing, but what other breweries in and around the area have inspired you to be part of that insurgence of breweries in Brooklyn and Queens?
None in the area. Like I said, when I got into this, I didn't know that it was so rare. I thought it was just this thing I wanted to do. I was making juices and kombucha and, pushing it to beer and wine. And I was just really fascinated with what happened to produce when you left it alone over time. And I call it the seed to spirit experience where, we get something that's healthy and natural for us and produces medicine. And then later along the line, it produces wisdom. That's why we call it a spirit. And it helps to relax us and heal us all at the same time. People don't know hops are extremely medicinal.
Yes.
I was really interested in narrow focused on the product itself. I was not a part of the culture and the world outside of it before I got into it, to be quite honest with you.
So then
there wasn't any brewery that inspired me to open a brewery.
Where'd you get all this information? Was it just based upon your background and what you did at home?
Yeah.
Because you seem extremely knowledgeable about ingredients. I mean, that's
my thing, is the ingredients. That's where I start with every beer. I don't look at producing a style. I look at the ingredients. I look at the season. I look at how it's going to affect my customers. I look at how it's going to make you feel. Like, are your eyes going to pop and make you want to talk to the person next to you?
Cool.
Is it going to mellow you out and make you de-stress from the day that you had? Or is it going to boost your energy and make you feel really excited and want to party? And I'm really fascinated with how ingredients, real natural foods and produce, can affect the body in that way.
Wow.
And fermentation is a way to preserve that over a longer period of time.
And we've interviewed a lot of brewers, and no one seems to think along that line. I think that's a very interesting angle that you're taking, and I'm sure that it's definitely striking a bell with your customers. So what do you have in the brewery right now that is selling fast? Like you really just can't even keep it in stock?
Oh, that's a strange question because we don't keep things on. We don't really brew things more than once, so everything has a season.
Wow.
And so as the seasons change, we change the beers based on what is in season. I mean, that sounds really redundant, but one of our most popular beers that we have on right now is the ginger beer wine.
Ooh.
That is our number one. People get mad at me when it's not available. I only brew it twice a year. It takes 10 days to mash by hand. There's no heat involved. And it's sitting at about 11% right now. The last batch was 17%. People weren't happy with me when they had to wait for it. But I like that level of exclusivity because it's something that I really put my heart and soul into. If you really want it, you come back for it. So I think for me, that is the most popular beer that we have.
Wow.
If you want to go sales-wise, it's one of those IPAs.
Yeah, of course.
Really?
Really? No
Yeah,
way.
no one asks about our IPAs, but it always moves because it's just one of those things where people think that. Here's what I notice people think. They think that there's beer, cider, wine, and IPA.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, people don't realize that IPA is a style of beer. They think it's a whole other thing. So people just come and be like, "Oh, let me get an IPA." It's like, okay.
Yeah, it's like ordering let me get a Jack on the Rocks, and then let me get an IPA real quick, though.
Just a silly comment. I like the cranberry triple here, the name of it. Somebody's going to get pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
Not.
That's what I'm drinking right now.
There you go.
Just a non sequitur, just like the name.
I'm going to take it behind the middle school, get pregnant. Fucking Tracy Morgan's the best. So where are you located in Brooklyn? I mean,
Flatbush.
obviously No, I know, not Flatbush, Bushwick.
Bushwick?
Yeah.
No, Flatbush.
Oh, it's Flatbush. I thought she said Bushwick.
Yeah.
Oh, because I'm like, I know Braven is in Bushwick, so that's another one that just had popped up in the last few years. And have you done any festivals at any of these, pouring festivals or taste festivals or anything like that to get the name out?
Yeah, we don't get invited to much festivals.
Why?
I don't know. We can sit here and create a list of reasons why I don't get invited. A lot of people don't want to talk about those reasons.
Okay.
Maybe it's not those reasons and they don't realize it. Who cares? I don't get invited. People come to my spot. I make money.
Yeah.
You lose money when you go out to those.
Listen, that's what I'm saying. If people already know about it and you're doing fine business-wise, then you don't really need it. Honestly, I find it kind of weird sometimes when breweries try to get out there and get the name out there, and they're just pouring free beer for everybody, and it really doesn't, add to the commercialism or the sales value or anything like that. So when you can stand on your own like you're doing, you have a good product.
Yeah, see, the thing about festivals that we noticed, we did a handful last year, and I got to tell you, I don't like the festival scene because it's just people coming up to you one after the other with an empty cup, just slugging beers back and forth to the point where they don't even know what they're drinking. They're just drinking to get drunk. And I'm like, let's go to a whiskey fest, right? If you want to get drunk, right?
And speaking of whiskey fest,
there's other ways to just get drunk, but they don't take the time to appreciate what they're tasting. They don't take the time to appreciate what the brewer has put into it and the message that they're trying to get across or what the brand is about. And that's what our tap rooms are for. And that's why I really appreciate the farm brewery license.
Absolutely.
Because we get to invite the public in to experience our story, to experience our culture, to experience beer the way we intended for it to be experienced. Like, for instance, in my tap room, there are no televisions. Because you don't come to my tap room to watch the game and drool, right? It's to interact with people and to really heal from what's going on outside. And I know that people might think that that's strange and they're like, no, you just drink beer to get drunk. Well, that's what Budweiser's for.
Yeah. Well, it's a very holistic approach to the whole thing. Is almost like you said, it's healing. It's certain ways you build your thing and to get people to come in and drink and interact, and it's almost self-healing in a way.
Yeah.
I find alcohol healing, especially when I've had 17 of them.
It definitely healed me when I was depressed. So
yeah,
all I can do is continue to share, what nature gives us, what Earth gives us, and what the business has given me.
I think you're doing really great stuff, and I'm going to definitely come by. I got to get over there because it's not that far away from where some of the other ones are located, not in that town, but like on a path or a route or a little beer tour that I do sometimes. I was mentioning I went to Finback. I went to Queensboro. We'll get back to that in a little bit, and Bridge and Tunnel. Everyone in the Brooklyn, Queens area is doing some really great things. And my buddy Nick, who called in before, is probably going to tell me that he's been to Island, but I'm not sure if he has, and I don't know if he knew it existed. So this is one that he and I and some of our friends are going to have to come over to and really go through the experience with you, because I really want you to kind of teach me that holistic approach to beer making and the ingredients and all that.
For sure. We would definitely love to have you guys. I was trying to get some beer out to you guys today. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if this has anything to do with the government shutdown, but the Postal Service doesn't feel like delivering the mail. So we have a little bit of
I did get mail
hang-up.
today. I got mail today, but maybe packaging and stuff like that. It's one of the things that can hang over the head of everybody in the government, saying packages aren't being delivered. I haven't got my router from Verizon in 2 weeks. That could be because of it. So I don't know. Well,
so
Danny,
things are hung up in the mail.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Listen, you don't have to send us anything out. You're close enough that we can get in there, and like I said, I want to experience the way you intended it to be experienced. And I think that'd be the best way to drink the beer and to talk about it.
All right. Well, when you guys come in, I definitely, if you guys are able to make it in within the month before we sell out, definitely try the Malby Stout.
Yep.
It's a stout brewed with Malby bark. It's a bark that we drink in the Caribbean. It's very bitter. So it's kind of like our twist on using hops in beer. We did use a little bit of hops, but the Malby really is the bittering agent in that stout.
Yeah.
Of course, you got to try the ginger beer wine.
Yes. I like ginger beer by itself. I like the taste, the flavor.
Well, this is not like ginger beer. So ginger beer is a ginger reduction with sugar syrup. This is just straight ginger fermented with its own yeast.
Wow.
It's ginger in your face, like
ginger
biting
root.
into ginger.
Like,
yeah,
that makes sense.
I've only used it in cooking like a stir fry or something.
Right, yeah, it's great with cooking. So that's, again, like she said, the ingredients she's very knowledgeable
Fun
about.
aromatic.
Well, Danny, thanks a lot. You want to give us the big plug? Tell us a little bit about the social media, the contact information, all that?
Oh, yeah, we're Island to Island Brewery on Instagram. I think there's a Twitter. I think there's a Facebook, but most people just follow us on Instagram.
Yep.
Our website is Island to Island Brewery. We're finally selling brewery merch.
Nice.
So please get your T-shirt, your hoodies, your tank tops, get your gear together and show some love. And we hope to see you in our tap room. It's Tap Room 642. It's located at 642 Rogers Ave in Brooklyn in Flatbush. It's right near the Botanical Gardens, the Brooklyn Museum,
Cool.
Prospect Park, and
See,
King's
there you
Theater.
go.
So
Now you got it.
make a
Because
day
anyone
of it, go
make a
hang
day
out
of it.
and come see us.
Get the family out there and then stop by the brewery.
Yes, kids are welcome and pregnant women are welcome. We got non-alcoholic brews for you too.
Nice. Love it. Thank you very much,
Thanks
Danny.
for calling in, Danny.
You're very welcome. Have a great night, guys.
You too. Enjoy. Well, that was Danny from Island to Island Brewery. Really awesome what she's doing. It's something so different. You know, it's hard to even fathom what a brewer that has that background of family tradition that's so unique to her family and so unique to some of the things that she's been doing for probably a century, right? I mean,
my family traditions line more up with Charlie with sausage and gravy. Right?
Pork and sausage.
Pork and tomatoes and.
It makes sense. We're going to go right back to the phones. This is the Wort with Mike and Pete. Who's still on the line with us? Are you still there?
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. So, thank you very much for staying on the phone with us. I appreciate it. We had to get through our interview with Danny from Island to Island Brewery in Flatbush. Who are we talking to?
It's cool. So what is the show about?
This is the Wort with Mike and Pete. We talk about beer. We interview brewers. And if it wasn't for my sickness tonight, I'd be getting drunk right now. And that's why I actually am pretty cognizant of the words that are coming out of my mouth.
Oh, okay. Well, I had a few questions. So when I called in, does it show like my number or does it show a name? I'm just curious.
It says neither. In our small little podcast here of our radio station, we don't have a phone screener. Usually in the larger radio shows, we'll have someone answer the phone, type in your name, from where you're from, and all that stuff, and then send it out to the hosts. But in here,
why do you ask?
Yeah, in here it's just me popping the phones on. So what do you got?
Oh, just I've been watching your show, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty entertaining. I'm here sitting down, just drinking a cold Bud Light, and that's it. You have a great day.
You too.
I love your show.
Thank you. Well, that was cool. A little natural caller. Just watching the show on YouTube live and having himself a Bud Light, which, listen,
Hey.
You got to drink what you got to drink.
I've only had about 70 of those.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that's a lot more than that.
A lot, 700 maybe in your lifetime.
That's probably closer.
We all have. Who hasn't drank their fair share of the Bud Lights?
I'm not going to pour something like this in fucking for beer pong.
No. Well, I think I have, actually. When we used to get in, like, for
Sam
craft beer
Adams.
teams. No, I was doing probably Magic Hat. I was probably doing, because I didn't bring Bud Light to a party, when I got into my early 20s, late 20s.
Let me talk about that for a second, unless you have to, make a run to the bathroom or something.
I don't. See, the thing about not drinking all night is that I don't have to pee at all. We could stay on, on the air forever at this point, because I don't have to do anything. I have nothing in me.
So we're socializing more with, the parents from the school.
Yeah.
And
is it scary?
I mean...
It's a weird thing.
It is a weird thing.
Right?
You and years ago, I read this article. It says the top 10 things about being a parent that no one tells you, and one of them is that
getting
you have
to know new people.
You have to be friends with these people for no other reason that your kids are friends.
Right. So, for you and I, it didn't happen because of that, because our kids don't go to school together. So our wives were actually friends, and they got really friendly before and I started hanging out a lot more. I think we went out to dinner. It was the first time I met you. We went somewhere, and then that was that. But yeah, we had a number of experiences where we would meet people's family and parents, and I'm like, no, I don't really want to hang out with these people.
They're really nice. The reason I was bringing it up is they have a lot of fun with them. They're cool to hang out with and everything. But
Right.
no one else drinks craft beer.
Right. Okay. So I get a
So
story
I feel
for that.
awkward. I'm like, I don't know what to
say or bring. I know.
And it's also, I don't know what to talk about because I'm socially awkward and
beer is the only thing you really feel comfortable talking about.
That
I hear you.
That in politics, which is never a good idea.
So let me pick up my story right after we take this phone call. It's the Wort with Mike and Pete. Who do we got?
Nicky Knuckles.
There you go, buddy. What's
Nicky
up, my
Knux.
buddy?
What are you
Hey, so
saying?
have you been to Island to Island?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, we
And
gotta
I
head
wanted
over
to
there.
say, you're having a great show tonight, brother.
Thanks,
you
buddy.
should not get drunk on the show. You should just stay sober.
Fucking heresy, Nick.
See, that's the thing.
You're
Like,
having a
when,
great show.
as
Mike,
as the
you're
night
doing
goes on and I'm getting drunk, you know, we have all these the people in the studio, and it gets a little crazy, and we take all these breaks. We haven't taken a break yet. It's 9:44. I've been going an hour and 40 minutes straight.
You have to stay sober. Pete has to get drunk. You have to stay sober.
No, Pete went
on
Pete.
it.
You're the straight
I'm
man.
working on it, Nick.
Yeah, he's a couple in. I've been just
I got
sipping and
3 in.
tasting. Yeah, and I've had a little sip of everything here, so I'm pretty good with what we're
You can't help
doing.
yourself. You can't help yourself. You can't.
Dude, you got to try next time you're in the studio. I got to bring one of these things from RAR from you. That fucking black lager from them.
Yeah, the black lager is real
Good
deal,
shit.
Nicky.
And the
I can't wait.
The other one we had, my buddy Tim at work at Liftbridge,
Yeah.
Fireside Flannel.
Ooh, how was that?
Nice.
Not bad, really malty and delicious. Actually, I don't think I've had many browns. I
Okay.
know that's and I know you like that style, so
Yeah.
I brought it down for you. But
Well, for
good shit.
Pete, multi equals delicious, right?
Yeah. Certainly
That's how
does.
There you go.
I am a malt. I do like malt in my beer.
So Nick,
You do.
before
You're Mr. Malt. You're
Mr.
good. We're gonna
Malt.
call you Mr. Malt. I think Pete the Mr.
I want that on my
Malt.
license
There you go.
plate.
yes,
That's great, Mr.
I am
Malt.
Mr. Malt.
Mr.
Before
Malt.
we got our flurry of phone calls, Nick, I was telling Pete and the audience about our experiences inside of
Well,
Queens.
first, wait. Let me interrupt you.
Go ahead.
I want to go to Island to Island. I'm going to go anyway. I've been meaning to go forever, and she's awesome, and I want to go.
Yeah.
I definitely want to try that. I went on the website real quick before she got to it, and I was looking at that. They have some porter, I think, too, a stout and a porter. So
Yes, yeah.
You know me. I'm all
I know.
about that.
You're right in there. When we went over to, so we picked up from Finback and went over to Bridge and Tunnel, and we had a porter. Remember which one that was? Was that the milk stout that you and I had?
Yeah, the milk stout. You loved it, right?
The chai milk stout.
Yeah, the chai milk stout.
That was delicious, Pete.
Yeah.
Chai milk stout you'd like.
I have a milk stout at home. I didn't bring tonight from Liftbridge too.
Ah. Well, actually, Nick, I would compare that milk stout that we had at Bridge and Tunnel to the one that we had from Treehouse the other night, courtesy of our buddy Frank, the worst bartender ever. Frank Caffarelli.
Frank the Tank Caffarelli.
Frank the Tank Caffarelli, a guest on this show, actually did a little beer trade with me, and he gave me a Moment of Clarity from Treehouse. It was a milk stout, and Nick came over this weekend, and we had a few of those, and they were delicious.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah, it
Frank
was.
Caffarelli hasn't had a moment of clarity since he had the ankle bracelet removed.
That's brilliant. It's a great line. That's wonderful. So Nick and I ended up at Bridge and Tunnel. We had the chai stout and the chai milk stout, and then I got the Chipotle porter to go, and we had a couple of those too along the way. So it was awesome. And then we headed over to where, buddy? Queensboro?
Yeah, Queens Brewery.
So Queens Brewery, not Queensboro.
Yeah,
Queens
yeah.
Brewery. And so this is like a German style, beer hall. Big, long picnic tables, huge space, and you get a half a liter. Everything's a half a liter pour. It's a huge
No, you get a
pour.
liter too. You get a full liter.
You can get a full liter, yeah.
What about if I want cola?
Yeah, a liter of cola.
Can I get a full liter of cola?
They got cola, but they got beer. They got coffee and donuts.
Yes, they do. They have a little shop there that serves some of these really hard to find cronuts or whatever they were called. They were like filled donuts.
Maple, they're gonna Nelson, yeah.
Yes, those are. We didn't get to have one because they were closing down shop and we're all sold out of them.
We drank it. We drank the donuts that day.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we had the maple. It was a stout or a porter. It was a maple.
A donut. It was a maple donut stout. It was
Maple
delicious.
donut stout. Yes,
That sounds good.
it was good. It was big and it's low ABV.
I like maple syrup and donuts, of course.
Right.
Fat
And
kid.
with a little bit of chocolatey, roasty part of it,
I can get
you
down
could
with
taste
that.
it.
Where was that from?
Yeah, they do
Queens
good things over
Brewery.
there. They have good shows there, man. They
Yep.
do good things, man. And there's a lot of different vibe. We and Buckley went over to KCBC the other night before a show. We went to see, what was it, Thursday, I guess? And we went to KCBC before that. And we had a couple rounds of their stuff there, called Pilsners, some black Pilsners and thing. And
Cool.
they do good things there, too. But nothing that was too outstanding, though. But that trip we took that day was pretty good. And remember, what about that Coquito beer from Finback?
Oh yeah, so
this weekend?
so Nick and
That's
Buck
good.
came over this weekend for a little post-Christmas fiesta, and Nick brought over some stuff. I gave them some of the Sand City Red Sand. That
Oh, yeah.
Frank,
That was great.
yeah, Frank hooked me up, and he works right by Sand City, so it's a few minutes away. And when I
I'm gonna
couldn't
steal
get
one
up
of those
there,
from you before
yeah, no,
we-
I brought
yeah.
one for you. When I couldn't get up there on a Friday on the can release, I was afraid they're going to sell out, and I wanted to get the boys something to suck on a little bit over the weekend. That's what
Giggity.
they said. And
hey, watch it.
Frank went up and grabbed us a few cans of Red Sand and brought it back, and it was it's one of my favorite beers from Sand City. It's not overly hoppy. It's one of my favorite. It's a hoppy amber. It's a dry hopped amber. It's delicious.
Not too hot.
No, it's not.
I'm interested. Yeah. I'm very interested. I had the hoppy amber from
not DD8.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Treehouse. I had the
Ma.
Ma.
It ranks right up there with it.
All right.
Ranks right up there with it. I would say Sand City's better.
Right there.
I had the Ma as well. You gave me one of those.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's good. So, they came over, and then Nick brought over like a little mixed 4-pack. He got some of the Mickler Dunkel, which was awesome.
Yeah, very nice, very nice.
Very malty.
I took a little taste of that. I wanted to leave you that to savor. So
yeah, that was good. What was some of them other beers?
I had that Coquito Finback.
Yes, the Coquito.
And the Stillwater Stout.
I have yet to drink that one. That was the only one left in the arsenal that was not drank that night. And since then, yesterday, Sunday, after that long night of drinking, I kind of took a time out. And then today I haven't felt all that great. So I'll get into that Stillwater soon.
That's an ominous can. That's an ominous looking can.
It is. It's all black and silver. It looks kind of scary. How about the Mexican cake you brought me?
Oh, yeah.
The Westbrook Mexican cake. That looks...
I forgot about that. That's always like the forgotten one. I forgot that I could pick that up.
Yeah, because it's that season where all these, milk stouts and porters are out, and I do like dark beer season. I like the black lagers. I like the black IPAs. All those things really, get me going. So I appreciate you bringing over, that really cool Stillwater. And like you said, the Coquito was really different. It was a coconut porter.
Yeah, coconut stout.
It was
a
stout.
Like cinnamon, coconut, and
vanilla and nutmeg. It was not over the top in spices. It had more of the
smooth.
Smooth,
it wasn't
yes.
Heavy. It wasn't that heavy.
No, it really wasn't. It was pretty good.
I have a couple more. I meant to bring them, and I only brought the one.
No,
that
was plenty.
If I don't drink them all, I'll try to save a couple.
Yeah. I just want to. We are still.
We're going to do Island to Island, and
yes, we're going to have to go over there.
I think that's the next. That's definitely the destination, Island to Island, and that whole southern tip of Brooklyn. I got to go there, so that's next on the map.
Yeah, I mean, what haven't you had over there?
Man, other half, strong rope, and I guess threes.
Yeah, I guess
those two. Yeah,
those are good ones. Yeah, we got to go over those.
Yeah, we got to do that. That's a little run. Take Graz. Tell him, get him on the line. Let's go.
Yeah, no, Graz didn't call in tonight. He's taking some time.
That's a whole thing, Nick.
It's a whole other story for another night. But listen, we actually had one of the site. Was it Cypress or was it?
Yeah, we had Cypress.
No, I know, but who had the beer that was doing with the chocolate nibs? I thought for sure if he
Cypress.
It was, yeah. So he does this stout with chocolate nibs. I thought for sure he was going to call in the minute he heard the word chocolate nibs. But like I said, I think he's taking just some time for right now. So we'll get him back on soon enough.
Of course.
He's our regional correspondent as well. Nick, buddy, I'm gonna
holiday.
Listen, I want to wrap this up tonight on time for the first time ever.
Happy New Year, fellas.
You too, buddy.
Happy New Year, fellas.
Hey, man.
Happy New Year, Nick.
We're going to have a successful 2019. So, Pete, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, buddy. Thanks for calling in, as always.
Of course, brother. Of course.
All right, buddy.
Talk to you guys soon, man.
See you.
Nick, our regional correspondent from Queens and Brooklyn, really does, have some information. I think he's been drinking tonight, though. You can kind of tell. Maybe because I'm not drinking, I can tell.
Oh, no, he always sounds drunk to me.
It might be true.
Way.
No, in a good way.
Yeah.
Now, we had a really fun time on that little beer tour in Queens, and we want to do a couple of different ones just to hit, like you said, some of those other places.
Yeah.
Strong Rope Threes, Other Half, that whole section of Brooklyn where you can actually take it to East New York and get off the train and walk maybe a half mile and get to a couple of breweries. So a lot of cool things going on out there. We had Cali Beer Girl on our social media reach out and just say she wanted to do it, but I told her we were still live, so give us a call, 516-465-3990, 513-0515. We are running down to about 7 minutes left in the show. So
let's take a little break. And
you want to take a break?
I
really do want to wrap up on
hit the
time.
bathroom.
No, well, can you wait 7 minutes? I guess not. All right, just go.
Can we go to 10:10?
Just go.
Let's just go to 10:10.
No, just go to death.
Fuck it, all right.
And I'll tell the story of the other story. So after the night of Queens, With Nick and I went into those, various places. We the next day went to some local places. So my buddy Mike, our regional correspondent up in Massachusetts, came down to Long Island, and we went out to the Small Craft Brewery in Amityville, our hometown brewery where we grew up, and sat and had a few beers and had a great time. I took a few things to go, and just going back, Pete, to the things that I was saying before with meeting people's parents and stuff like that. Actually, one of my neighbors, whose daughter is friendly with my daughter and in the same grade, came by Small Craft and was picking up some beers. I thought it was very funny and very interesting that we shared this common bond at one of their parties over the summer. And, we're sitting in the back in a tent and having a great time, and it's beautiful out. And I go to put my beer in the cooler, and what I saw in the cooler was Night Shift from up in Massachusetts. I saw Starting Line. I saw some other beers that I hadn't seen that were Massachusetts-based, and I went, wow, you really have a tremendous amount of craft beer in here, and where do you get it? So one of his friends, or maybe it was his sister, I don't remember, had brought it down from Massachusetts. She lives up there now, and it's the first time that I found out that one of my daughter's friends' fathers likes craft beer. And so it was an easy selling point and talking point. And like I said, we ran into him at Small Craft that same Christmas weekend, and he was getting the raspberry stout. It's almost like a jelly roll. And the raspberry stout is what Jay picked up at my neighbor at Small Craft while we were there. So that was a cool little stop by. And we had, Mike and his sister and his sister's husband who live in Massapequa. They came through, and it was just cool. I was saying that, one of my daughter's friends' fathers lives around the block. They live right around the block, and they had craft beer in their fridge, in their cooler over the summer. They had Night Shift. They had Starting Line. They had all these beers, and I went, wow. So it was a talking point that, in saying back to what we were talking about with our kids, friends, that thank God that one of them, one of the first ones, and he lives literally around the block, that we can share that. And then I ran into him at Small Craft. He was filling up some growlers before the Jet game, that last Jet game that sucked ass.
I have a side question.
Yeah, good.
So you haven't been in the bathroom yet. It's a fucking sauna in there. And
Is
I'm
it?
just wondering, do we want Governors to burn down or do we not want
It's a space heater underneath, right?
There's a space heater.
Yeah, we'll turn that off before we leave. 'Cause you know what, though? It gets so cold that I don't think anyone turns it off. Well, we have one last phone call here. It's to work with Mike and Pete. Who are we talking to?
Hey, it's Michelle. How are you doing?
Hey, how's it going? This is Cali Beer Girl? No, this is Green Eyed Beer Babe. No. Who are you?
Jesus Christ, Mike.
I only know people by their online names.
Oh, okay. Well, then this is the Brew Babe.
Oh,
okay. Hey, what's going on?
I had very little contact with you in the last few days, so I wasn't expecting to call in, but thanks a lot for calling in, Michelle.
Surprise, surprise.
Yes.
You're semi-local, right? You're in Queens? Is that right?
Actually, very close. I live in Nassau, but I do work in Queens. I work at LIC Beer Project.
That's right.
Yes, that's what we thought. Okay, good, great. So we have, you're a home brewer and a cider maker, as we can see here on your Instagram page. And then LIC is one of those, up-and-coming types of breweries. We've seen them at the festivals. They got contracts with things like Citi Field and some other places. So tell us a little.
Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, Madison Square Garden. That's right. So tell us a little bit about the brewery and the history of it, as you may know. And when did you start working there?
I started working in March. I originally worked at 1940s.
Really?
In Hillbrook.
That's
I was
right.
there for a couple of years as the sales rep there.
Cool.
I started at LIC in March, and it's been a great experience all around. We are a 20-barrel brew house.
Yeah, it's big.
We originally were a Belgian-side brew house. We're the first brewery in New York City to have a cool ship.
Ooh.
So now we do hoppy experimental beers. We have can releases every couple of weeks. We do a couple of collabs here and there. So we're getting out there.
I've seen some
Tell me a little bit more
stuff.
about this cool ship experience. I've always wanted to try the ones from Allagash because they're the only ones I know that do a cool ship, but that series is not released outside of the brewery.
Yeah, so I actually haven't been part of only the beginning process of it. We used the cool ship back in June, and unfortunately I wasn't there for it because I was sick. So I missed out. It was a couple of days that we had let it ferment. We have like a cool ship room for that. And then we had transferred in barrels. They're actually sitting in the barrels right now.
Nice.
So I'm pretty excited to see when they're going to come out. We're probably going to leave them for about a year.
Jesus. So is that what it really is just one of those things that takes
forever.
Just to
saw
get
a
going?
post from Allagash. They had their Cool Ship beer was barrel aged for like 3 years. Then they're going to put it on raspberries for like another 3 or 6 months.
Jesus.
Dubco recently, I think
they
over
built
the summer,
a Cool Ship. Yeah,
they did a Cool Ship, and they said it's going to several years before they release it. So
yeah.
Yeah, our Saison yeast, the yeast that we've actually tested it, turns out that they have like fig notes to it. So I think it has something to do with all the Greeks and Italians and their fig trees in Astoria. But we get some interesting flavor with our Cool Ship beers, or ones that we stick in our barrel. So we'll see what happens.
Are you a 311 fan?
Yes, I am.
Yes, I saw that you were at Jones Beach, and I love 311. It's one of my favorite. The summer, I know Pete's a metalhead, so I'll put something on a little harder for you, Pete. Sorry.
It's okay. I appreciate metal as well. I saw Lamb of God and Slipknot, I think, like a year or so ago.
There you go. Right up Pete's alley.
Now we're talking.
now we can have a conversation.
Slipknot's new album. Slipknot has a new album coming out this year.
You're excited? Huh?
I am excited. Yeah. Have you heard the new single?
No, I haven't.
All Out Life. It's fucking great.
Yeah. I'll put that on at the end. You want me to put that on at the end of the show today?
Yeah.
Is it out there? All right. I'll put
yeah,
it on.
it's on Spotify.
I just want something a little more chiller. Like this is.
No, I like zero chilling
I know.
music.
You really don't.
The more aggressive and angry, the better, and the happier I feel.
Michelle, so you've had some experience out in 1940s, and now you're with LIC. So what are you doing with them? Are you sales repping them, or are you assisting in the brew house? What are you doing?
So I handle the branding and marketing for the brewery. So I handle tap room events. We do special release beers. We have Pile of Crowns, our most beloved beer. We do events with that. We have a Coronation Day. It's an awesome day. We have food, music.
That's a great concept.
Pretty large
really
turnout. People line up at 7:30 in the morning. I was a little overwhelmed. It was my first Coronation Day.
My daughters would
didn't
love that.
expect such a crazy day.
Yeah,
but
sounds like something out of Frozen.
It's very Frozen-esque.
Festivals. Originally, I did help out with packaging, and I learned very quickly that it's tiring and not as exciting. So I'm pretty happy to just stick with marketing, branding, traveling for festivals. We do a lot of educational nights and tastings. That's what's getting involved on that front, on the public front.
Awesome. Now you're a beer connoisseur, as I say, and you've been traveling a lot and gathering some stuff. What do you see outside of the Long Island area that's really surprising? Have you been to little hubs that are doing stuff differently, or what have you noticed out there?
That's a really interesting. I'm trying to think. I've been to quite a few places this year. I actually am starting to be more into cider than beer itself.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because I have celiac, so learning to
beers.
brew and drink gluten-free and gluten-reduced has been a challenge for me. What's different?
That's got to kill you, right? Just sitting there saying, I really love the taste of it, but can't sit there and drink
There's
those.
no way I can drink it. I get violently sick, so it does kill me. It was a little bit of a struggle when I first came back into homebrewing a couple of years ago, but now it's at a point, only so often I get pretty upset. There are beers out there that I wish I could try that I really can. Anything like bourbon barrel aged stouts, or I'm like a dark beer drinker, like porters. Anytime I see those kind of beers out there, I really want to try. I can't have it. Like Nightmare, someone gave me.
Yes, Nightmare was a new.
Oh God, yeah, it was. What was it? 11%. I think they had 11% stout, imperial stout. I really wanted to try it, and it was a great gift, but I couldn't. I couldn't try it, and that made me very sad for Christmas. So I gave it to my brother instead, and watched him enjoy it. Sadly,
I think Pete would really appreciate Nightmare. If you look at the can art, it's very, very metal. Very metal.
Yeah, I saw the branding. Something different on Long Island, something you don't see.
Now, where are they operating out of? Are they nomadic right now, or they actually have a tap room?
For what? For Nightmare?
Yeah.
I could have sworn they're gypsy brewing. I don't know if that's the right terminology for it.
Yeah, nomadic gypsy, whatever. Yeah.
Death metal and horror-inspired brewers.
Yes. You're very intrigued, Pete. Pete, this is right up Pete's alley. I'm glad you mentioned Nightmare because I wanted to talk to him about this. a few weeks ago when I first saw some of the stuff hit the shelves here on Long Island. But they were actually doing stuff out of Great South Bay. That's where I knew they were.
I think, and so does Lineup. I think Lineup has done or still does some brewing out of Great South Bay as well. So I'm not surprised that they're doing it there.
And Root and Branch, too. Root and Branch uses them.
Yep.
So, and then I heard most recently they're going to be setting up in Copiague, which is just a town over from where I am. And I am very excited for that.
17% stout.
Yes. Jesus, 17%. All right, so tell us, here's what I want you to do. Because we want to start creeping into Queens. We've had some people reach out from the guys from the couple from Big Alice and Rich from Bridge and Tunnel. We really want to start gathering some of the brewers from the Queens and Brooklyn area. If you have somebody's ear and they're interested in being on the podcast, we'd love you guys all to come out. To be on the show live in studio. We kind of hang out, taste, drink, get drunk. I'm not getting drunk tonight. I don't feel so good. But our typical format is just shenanigans. And if you listen to any of the podcasts prior, you'll hear the craziness and the transition like at a festival where it starts off really informational and informative, and then it goes straight to just
goes sideways
quick, and it's great.
Oh, so I called at the right time then.
Absolutely. Well, you did. Well, today, like I said, I'm not as bad. I'm usually I'm at the helm here at the controls.
I'm drinking by myself tonight, Michelle.
Yeah, Pete is really just putting them down. I know. I feel bad. I've been sipping along the way, but I'm not right, so I don't really want to overdo it tonight. But we had to get the show on. Show must go on. A new season of the show, and we'd really like to start including some of the Brooklyn and Queens breweries. So if you can. Get in touch with us, DM us if there's anyone that can send us an email address or anything like that. We'd love to get them in because I really do like what they're putting together. Everything I've had from LIC has been unbelievable. And my sister lives fairly close. So we need easy, quick
We'll
run
hit you up
over.
later. If you want to come down, if you're interested, we'll hit you up for a show in February or something if you want to come down, Michelle.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, it sounds like a plan.
Nothing like having the marketing lady, and the boys.
Right.
Now, is there a female brewer over there? I'm not 100% familiar with the lineup.
No, not necessarily. Not exactly. So Daniel Acosta is the founder and head brewer of LIC Beer Project. Mm-hmm. He was a home brewer and traveled through Europe and fell in love with Belgian style beers, and that's how he got his inspiration.
Okay.
When he came here and started. So his sister, Caitlin Acosta, she's not so much in the media as far as brewing, but her and her brother, some of the early recipes, they would collaborate and come up with it.
Okay.
It is his brewery. It is his baby. So that's for sure. But she is a taproom manager. She's actively involved. They possibly could be coming up with a beer sometime soon. I know they definitely want to put out a release, like a sibling one. So
that's cool. Yeah, we were just speaking to a few brewers. We were talking to
Danny from Island to
Danny from Island to Island gave us a call today, and
no way.
Yeah, she was great, and what she's doing over there is very unique. And again, she didn't see much of a difference, in regards to her scope of and around her life of being a woman head brewer. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that's now more and more popular. That women are taking a huge a step forward and becoming head brewers and owners and really doing what the men can do. There's really not much difference. In fact, men suck and women are always awesome. So that's
yeah. You touched on an important point there. I know there's a lot of with as much as positivity out there, there's some negativity. Women especially feeling there's a divide. And me and Caitlin, and I shouldn't really speak for herself, but I know for myself, there really isn't a divide out there. I want to speak on that party. There are breweries like LIC that are male-dominated.
Yes.
15 male employees.
Wow.
14, let's say. 14, about 14 male employees. And we don't feel any different. I don't feel like, I'm being objectified, or, they're not listening to me because I'm a woman, or I'm not making as much. I feel exactly equal as any guy there. Mm-hmm. And there needs to be a little bit more push for the breweries that are, even though there's not a whole lot of women out there, working at their breweries, that everybody really is equal. And I don't think that's said enough.
No, it's not.
It's I think a lot of times they're like, we're being shut down because we're women, and I think there needs to be more women stepping up, saying, well, not everywhere, you know, and people are doing it right, and LIC is doing it right, and 1940s did do that right. So I just want to touch upon that there, as much, as people are saying that there is separation, there really isn't. And I know I'm going to get hated, from saying that right now as a woman, but I need to speak up on that because that's from my experience, though. It could be different for anyone else, but I know from my experience working in industry, they don't treat me any different, to be honest.
That's good to hear.
And that's the way it should be, because there's nothing else that can separate you from any other man putting together recipes, doing the labor, doing everything. There's nothing.
Right.
So that's one of the remarkable things I'm finding in the craft beer industry right now is the insurgence of women with all the groups. They got the Pink Boot Society. You have a bunch of those types of clubs and areas that are.
Yeah, I don't really belong to any of those, but nothing wrong with them. Nothing wrong with them. I do like what they're doing. Yes. I just I like to be considered equal as everyone, so I do like to belong to just craft beer groups or homebrew groups.
Right.
That includes everyone, not excluding certain
Well,
people,
that makes perfect sense. And we want to see more of that, especially here in New York, our huge, I guess, conservative-based, liberal-based? Conservative-based? Conservative-based.
Depends on where in New York
you
are.
I guess if you go upstate, it's a little different than down here. But yes, I really want to see that grow and mature, and I think we're going to be able to get some, really great, beer out of it all. You guys have really done a lot for the industry, and places like Lineup, places like Mustache, they've really come together and showed that women in craft beer can really make a difference.
Yeah, I mean, it's anyone really can with the right education and passion. I mean, it really, there really is no divide per se with that. So.
Well, Michelle, thank you very much for calling the show. Michelle from the Long Island Craft Beer Project, Long Island LIC.
Beer Project.
I keep trying to say the acronym.
Roll
God
off
damn
the
it. Yeah, LIC is so much better. Great beer coming out of there, and hopefully we can get you guys on the show. Come down, we'll drink, we'll hang out, and have a good time.
All right, awesome. Take care, guys.
Thanks for calling, Michelle.
Bye.
So that was Michelle from LIC, and like I said, they've been putting together some really great beer over the last few years that they've been open. I want to get more history. That's why I didn't really go too far into the history of what she's doing at the brewery. And
try and get them on the show.
Yeah, I really want to have a more long-form, interview with her. And then we have one last phone call for the night. This is the Wort with Mike and Pete. Who are we talking to?
This is Amber. I'm on Cali Beer Girl on Instagram.
Hey, Amber, how are you? I got you mixed up with Michelle, who called in just before. It was an awkward moment for Pete and I, where I called her the Cali Beer Girl, because we were going back and forth trying to get you on, but we have two phone lines, and she was on the other one. So, So Cali Beer Girl on Instagram. You are located where?
I am actually in the East Bay in California.
There you go, and hence the reason Cali Beer Girl. By the way,
not in Mississippi.
Not in Mississippi.
Oh, okay,
yes.
just checking. All right.
Besides your sultry pictures online, the thing that got me...
You like that word this evening.
I do like sultry. It's great.
Right,
my daughter's middle name is Callie. Thank you very much.
Oh, nice. Actually, my daughter's name is Callie.
Oh, there you go. We conceived my daughter in California before coming back to New York.
Very awkward.
I know.
Very awkward.
No, it's fine. It's great. It's natural. It's human. It's all that.
So what are you drinking tonight, Amber?
I actually have not had a chance to have a beer yet.
Yeah, she's 3 hours behind. It's only 7 o'clock by her.
So she's 2 hours
just
behind.
got done making dinners and stuff.
Right, exactly. So I saw you just you've been trading a little bit online. That's one of the things that drew us in, and you're getting some of that 450. 450 is one of those ones that's like heavily traded online. The Nugget line, the slush line, and the other one there was another Fresh Fruit, FROOT. So what'd you think about what you pulled in at 450?
Well, I actually have not had a chance to try it
yet. Snap. So what is the post about? I guess I didn't read.
I was actually trying to get somebody to trade with me.
All right, so maybe we can get you that. Maybe we can broker that deal.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, you got to get it out on the West Coast. But out on the West Coast, what is your favorite beer that you can't really get enough of out there?
Right now, there's actually a black lager. It's Kaleidoscope.
Schwarzbier.
And it's from Devil's Canyon.
I had a delicious Schwarzbier from Texas earlier in the show that I liked a lot, from Royal Brewery.
Nice.
So what is the brewery that...
It's Devil's Canyon.
Devil's Canyon. And so where is that located?
I want to say it is in Campbell.
Okay.
But the problem is they are only open Friday nights to the public.
Really? That's
Yeah.
different because you don't really see tasting rooms kind of only
That
have their doors.
restricted, yeah.
That's
Yeah, they only do private parties. Apparently, we actually tried showing up one time.
How fancy.
so they're selling more bottle lines than like 16-ounce cans or stuff like that. Though they do sell 16-ounce cans and
Here
12.
Devil's
they?
Canyon.
Oh, I've
Brewing
only
Company
seen the
in,
bottles.
Yeah, the
St.
bottles
Carlos,
seem to be the lineup. So what's your favorite from that? You said it was the
It's the black lager.
Black Log. And so that's obviously something that's going around and definitely a seasonal thing, or they have it all year round?
So far, I've seen it probably for the last year, so I'd say all year round.
Oh,
I
good.
find it at not Bevmo, but Wine and More.
Okay. So you can get it at a local establishment rather than trying to hit up the
Yeah.
tasting room. Okay, so they do distribute, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know. Sometimes when we reach out across the country, some places are just so different in the way things go. It's kind of interesting, so we try to get the background of it. So it's mostly independent breweries distributing. And do you have like a local spot that's a place to get it? I know you said your store.
Wine and More.
Yeah, just the store. It's called Total Wine and More.
Oh, yeah, it's
That's
Total
the only
Wine.
place I can
Total
find
Wine.
that.
Yeah, we have Total Wines out here, but we only have like one or two.
We only so there's one Total Wine, and
Yeah.
because New York alcohol laws are fucking silly, so there's a Total Wine which sells wine and spirits.
Yep.
And then there's New York Craft and More, that's technically a separate store where they have to put beer because you can't sell beer with wine and liquor.
Correct.
So it's two.
Oh, wow.
So it's one building with two entrances and two POS systems because
stupid.
New York is fucking dumb.
Yeah, it seems so
Oh, yeah, we
stupid.
got one big store that we get lost in for about 2 to 3 hours.
Oh,
That's
that's
every
awesome.
other Total Wine.
Yes,
everywhere
it's
else.
everywhere else.
Except New York.
Oh.
Screw us.
I went to one in Minnesota, and yeah, it's
Mecca.
It's fucking magic.
Yeah.
It's like it's the best candy,
candy
store in the
store.
world. Oh,
Oh,
exactly. They had like not even like a super magnum of Chimay Blue, like
Really?
fucking huge, like a 2-foot tall bottle of beer.
Oh, shit.
That's
It was-
fantastic.
It was awesome.
So what are your close local breweries out there?
For me, I have Altamont Beer Works.
Okay.
I have Blaker Brewery. Morgan Territory, and a good amount in Sacramento that we go to a lot.
Nice. And so, is the scene relatively exploding out there like it is out here? Or is it kind of already established and been around for a while?
I'm sorry, I missed the question. My husband's talking to me.
Hey, settle down back there, sir. No, I said is the Pete's dying right now. Is the scene is it relatively new? Is it still exploding, or has it been settled in and been around for a while?
I'd say it's kind of in the middle. It's still fairly new, but it's kind of out of control out here. We have a lot of breweries.
Yeah. And so same thing, like festivals run, and it's kind of the same concept. So what are some of the great festivals that they have out there? Do you have like a big one that's like once a year, all California or West Coast based breweries?
Oh, goodness. I have no idea on that because I just recently started doing festivals, but I know we just did the SAC Coffee Beer Fest, which was really nice. It was a lot of beers with coffee.
Uh-huh.
And then we did a Lodi Beer Festival, which is a fairly small one.
Okay. So that's more of a local place or local festival that has stuff. Well, that's awesome.
And then San Francisco does random events and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good beer scene. You have a lot
San
of your
Francisco? Yeah, there's a few.
Yeah. I mean, just a couple. How far are you from San Francisco? A couple hours?
About 45 minutes.
Oh, nice. All right, so not too bad. So you're in the northern part of that Sacramento area.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, that's cool. And so, what else have you had from around the country that you're kind of excited? Besides the 450 of trying, have you had anything out here on the East Coast?
Is Trillium that way?
Yes, it is.
Massachusetts.
We had that recently. I actually did a beer trade with somebody else,
Nice.
and they were able to send me some of that.
What'd you
Mike's
get?
wearing a Trillium hat.
I am
as
wearing
we
a Trillium
speak.
hat right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
What did I get? Oh, I don't even remember what they were called.
Fort Point.
I had Fort Point the other night.
Congress
It was
Street.
Fucking great.
Yeah, Fort Point's great.
I haven't had those.
Black Metal, which was a black
Nope.
IPA. Day and Night, the coffee stout, or Night and Day. It depends on
that
which
one
way you do
sounds
it.
good, but I have not had that. I don't even remember.
How long ago? Because they do a lot of cutting tiles, staircase.
Cutting Tiles, I had that one.
Yeah,
that one was good.
That one is a well-known one from them.
What is that?
I believe it is another IPA.
I believe it was a hazy.
Yeah.
Or is it, oh, no, it's a double. It's a double.
There you go.
Double IPA. Okay.
Yeah, Vicinity was their other double. I knew there was a back-to-back. Then there's A Street, which is a standard IPA. And then you have, see, 4 Point, what they do is they dry hop it, and then they do variants of the dry hop. So they do Mosaic, they do Amarillo, they do Galaxy dry hop. So they have a couple of different releases depending on, what else is there. You got Stilling Street, which is another great one. And then they do this this number series, the permutation series. So they're up to 72 permutations, all different every single time. I got one that was a fruited IPA. I've gotten one that's a Pilsner. There's some really great ones that they put together. And everything is just freaking phenomenal, I'll tell you.
Yeah, so far I was happy with the few I got to try.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, and I'm starting to go through all my Treehouse beers. Have you had Treehouse out there yet?
I have not yet.
Yeah, it's another one. It's like in Massachusetts, it's Treehouse or Trillium. Those are the two that you're going to try to get ahead of. Have you had any New York-based beers, other half?
Nope, none of them.
Yeah, all right. So maybe if we can get
we'll set up some trades.
Yeah, because
you're interested.
Definitely stuff out there that I want to try. We got some, the ones up in the Northwest. We have a guy that we're going to start trading with soon for like things like, what do we talk about? Monkish or...
Yes.
Oh, Monkish.
Yeah.
I haven't had them yet, but I hear they're very good.
Yeah, there's a couple out there that I'm really interested in that's flying around the in the beer trade scene. But yeah, we have so many beers. I mean, our show, we're in our second season, and Amber, we've had a lot of brewers in, and we haven't even scratched the surface of Long Island, let alone Queens, Brooklyn, Manhattan, upstate. We've had actually more people from New Jersey on the show than we've had. New Jersey's exploding. I mean, exploding. You got Carton. You have, what's the other one?
Cypress, Red Tank,
Ross. Red Tank, Ross, all sorts. Yeah, we had Cypress on the show today. Charlie gave us a really good interview. So, yeah, there's so much stuff out here on the East Coast. It's so saturated, but yet they carve out their own little thing. It's unbelievable. I'm assuming that's the same thing over by you, right?
It is, yeah.
So, listen, I told Pete today that we were going to do it right to 10 o'clock. And I really wanted to get you on because I know we've been going back and forth for probably a month now of getting you on the show. But we want to go further with you on another show as we get further along in our season. But right now, I do want to wrap up and get this done. So listen, Amber, thank you very much for calling in and being patient with us as you're...
Thanks for calling in because it was an opportunity for me to crack open another beer.
Yes, he had another one.
Nice.
While we're talking to you.
Well, I'm going to have one after I'm done talking myself.
Nice. Cheers.
You as well. You guys have a great night.
You too. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye. That's the Wort with Mike and Pete. We got a lot of the country
2
covered.
hours, 20 minutes, zero breaks.
Zero breaks. If I don't have to pee, it's no big deal. I should just not drink at our show.
You and your goddamn child's bladder.
It is. It's terrible. So let's recap for a second. So we heard from New Jersey, Ontario. We heard from California. And we heard from Michelle, who was
Queens and Brooklyn.
And of course,
two
Nick.
boroughs.
Yep.
Another two states, and another country.
That's correct.
It's a pretty far-reaching show.
It's one fucking hell of a show. That's how we did it.
It's a lot of geography in one
I'm going to
show.
say, Pete, it took a lot to kind of schedule that all out, and I'm really very, very thankful for everyone who called in tonight.
Take credit for that because I did zero prep work other than getting some beer mailed in.
If anyone gets messages from Instagram, it's usually me because he's not a social media guy. He's more of the local phone call, email guy, getting our scheduled guests in the studio, which we usually have. Today's the start of a new season, the start of new things, and we want to kind of go around and circle around the country and I guess the north,
the globe.
No, well, eventually
Hemisphere?
we'll get. I was going to say North America, but is Canada North America considered? I would say
Really?
so, right? Is it?
You educate children.
I don't educate history or geography.
Yeah.
Or geology.
It's part of North America.
Okay, good. All right. So, yeah, North America. We hit up North America today. All over it, too. It was great.
North America consists of Greenland,
Mhm.
Canada.
Not Iceland.
I don't know. They're on the cusp. They might be.
Yeah.
Now I got to Google that.
All right. And, of course, you got your Nova Scotia up there, and then you go across Canada. I know
Nova Scotia's part of Canada.
I know. I've been to it. And then you got United States and Mexico, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So I'm not bad. I'm not that far off, buddy. All right. Well, this is the Wort with Mike and Pete. Thanks for the geography lesson. I appreciate it. And we will
Iceland is part of Europe.
It is.
It is part of Europe. So Greenland, I think,
is part of North America, which would be part as an independent country then.
it is an independent country. Though Physiographically, that's a word I've never heard. Physiographically, part of the continent of North America, Galena has been politically and culturally associated with Europe.
Okay.
Goddamn socialists.
Goddamn socialists. Pete, what was the name of that song you wanted to hear that we were talking about before? The new release?
Slipknot, All Out Life.
All Out Life? All right, so we'll play that after we get out of here. Slipknot, there we go.
Video directed by Sean Clown Cran.
Okay.
That means nothing to you?
Nothing to me. Nope, I have no idea who's...
They're, so, little metal history lesson for you. Slipknot, the whole band, so there's 9 members in the band.
Right.
Everyone wears a mask on stage.
I know that. They play drums. Drummers.
There's a lot of percussion.
Hand drummers.
So one of the founding members is Sean Cran, who goes by the moniker Clown.
Okay.
He is number 6, and he does a lot of the percussion.
Okay.
Who's
your
bring it
front
back
man?
into the show?
Yeah.
One of the percussion instruments is a keg.
Nice. Love it.
So
that's a great idea.
He hits a keg with a bat.
Yeah.
And I love it's a fucking cool sound in the middle of a song.
That's fantastic.
And the frontman is Corey Taylor.
Yes, Corey Taylor. I did know the frontman name.
Also of Stone Sour.
That's correct.
Great vocalist.
I just got word from Long Beach Brewing Company. They were going to call in, but it's a late night for them. So appreciate. Ooh.
The fuck was that?
That's a text message. It says, "Go fuck yourself." Okay.
Oh, all right.
Oh, Graz. That was Graz. I love you,
We miss
buddy.
you.
We do miss you. Graz, this one's going to be for you. It's the Wort with Mike and Pete, govsradio.com. This is the start of season number 2. We reached out across the country and over the globe, as Pete said, and we heard from a lot of people all over. Thanks, everyone, for calling in. Thanks for the breweries that gave us a little bit of history and some information. We really enjoyed everything you guys had, and hopefully we can make our way to your brewery. Cypress I've already been to, but over to Island and even up to Ontario. I know I'm going to probably eventually take a trip to Niagara, so it's not that far away from there. What we have in store for the rest of the year, Pete, we're going to try to do some festivals. We're going to try to reach out beyond Long Island and the breweries here and go into Queens and Brooklyn. Kind of travel a little bit, hopefully a little more in the warmer weather time. Maybe get over to Ross and Red Tank and see what they're doing over there and broadcast from there. It's been great, man.
I had fun, dude.
You had a lot of fun?
2.5 hours, 0 breaks.
0 breaks. I know. We went straight through. I don't even have to edit anything, which is
No
amazing.
shit, right?
It's unbelievable.
Good stuff.
All right. Thanks a
Don't
lot for
forget to have
everyone
your
calling.
pet spayed and neutered.
That's right. The Wort with Mike and Pete, govsradio.com. We're going to see you in about 2 weeks, where our next schedule will be TBD. Check us out on our Instagram, The Wort, a podcast, all separated by underscores. Check out our replays on iTunes, on not Spotify yet, on the Hopped Up Network, on Laughable, and, of course, right here on govsradio.com. And YouTube, by the way. Our video's been up there the whole time, and it'll basically be ready for viewing right after. Cheers, everyone. Everyone have a good night. Wort with Mike and Pete. We out.
Well, that's 2 hours of your life that you'll never get back.
Are you kidding?
Well, that's 2 hours of your life that you'll never get back.
Are you kidding me?
Please hang up and try again.